beautiful New York City, where the Sunday Night Rugby studio is. Look at the lights. We are here at the desk, myself, Will Hooley, joined by a fantastic panel. And you will notice, of course, USA Hall of Famer Mike Petrie. And new to the desk, but not new to MLR broadcast, that is Joey Lindstrom. Welcome to SNR, my man.
Thank you, brother.
How are you? You excited?
I'm wonderful. It's great to be here. Finally put a face to the name. We don't always get on camera, right? So it's nice to have this little reconnaissance here. Really excited.
Mike, good to have you back. You're like a rose between two thorns. You're looking good, buddy.
Oh, rose between... You say that to everybody that comes on the show, I'm sure. But how about this guy? He's all over social media. They know what his face is. Come on now.
It's good to have you gentlemen with us. And, of course, we've got a massive matchup tonight. Seattle Seawolves taking on California Legion. And the winner of this game will get a home semi-final next week. Mike, what a matchup we got on the West Coast.
What a matchup is right. It's that West Coast rivalry. California, they come in with a red-hot offense. They are always looking so sharp. They're fun to watch. And across from them, they're traveling into Starfire, a really difficult place to play with that seawall defense and the energy in that arena. I don't know. This one's got all the writings of a West Coast showdown that I would love to watch.
There we go. It's all to come here on Sunday Night Rugby. The gents are getting excited. We've also had plenty of excitement from this last week of MLR in the regular season because it was all on the line, particularly for Old Glory DC. They took on Anthem. Joey, you had this game. What a game it was. Anthem needed a win to even give him a chance to be in top four. DC needed a win and a try bonus point. They got it. This one at the end from Perry Humphreys into the corner. So now it went down to Sunday afternoon in New England, because actually in Quincy, they realised that they had to win with a bonus point, the Free Jacks, against Chicago Hounds, who have been absolutely unbelievable this year. And in the end, it did start well for the Free Jacks. Some good tries coming in, but Chicago, the side that have been so dominant, this man, Tion Lutz, with a hat-trick to help the Hounds to another victory. They go unbeaten this season. And for Free Jacks, for New England Free Jacks, Joey Lindstrom, they do not make a playoff. Can you believe it?
It was a couple different marks of history today as far as records are concerned, Will. For Chicago, they become the first MLR side to ever go undefeated through the regular season. That is big time. And for New England, yeah, they do not make the playoffs after the three-peat. Unfortunate for them, but that's just the way that it rolled this year.
When you look at the league standings here, Mike, what is a standout? We obviously now know the four teams are in the playoffs. The order of them will be decided tonight. But the two teams who miss out.
Look, and if you've been following the MLR for the past couple seasons and you look at that white line and you see the Free Jacks below it, you think something's wrong with your television screen, because literally they have never not made the postseason playoffs the past couple seasons. They have been the team to beat, top of the mountain for so long. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people that are very happy campers right now to see the Free Jacks below that line.
Basically, you're saying because you're New Yorkers, you're happy that the team from New England are not won. They're the playoffs coming up. Obviously, the decider who gets the home semi-final between Legion and Seattle will be decided tonight. We, though, or I should say, caught up with the main man, MLR's co-president, Alex Magleby, after that game with the Free Jacks. Check this out from the boss. He had a few words. Mags, great to see you, although as a former Free Jacks man yourself, what do you make of that result? Free Jacks no longer in the playoffs. How's the atmosphere there in Quincy?
Well, great atmosphere here today. They've got over 4,000 people packed in. There was a youth rugby tournament all morning, hundreds of kids playing, which was very cool to see, boys and girls. They've got a women's club game after, so it's really cool to see the whole community out. Very jam-packed day. Which is awesome. And just in terms of the level of play, it keeps getting better and better from my perspective. Chicago team was awesome. And, you know, had Free Jacks pulled that out, they would have gone ahead potentially with those 2 extra points over DC. And you would rather, for me, probably see that as you would see the head-to-head winner want to go through. So maybe a little bit of justice there with DC going through. So happy for them.
Yes, yeah, good job for DC. And for Free Jacks, it looks great at the venue, seeing all those people on the field, but they will not retain the title this year. But let's talk about the parity of the league. We've got you on here on Sunday Night Rugby. What have you made about it this season, Mags? How competitive has it been? How successful has this MLR campaign been in the regular season?
Sure. So heading into the season, we were measuring competitive parity in terms of a per-game basis. Per match basis, based on with 10 minutes left in the game, how many games are within a try, within 7 points in a conversion. And then the same thing goes for at the end of the game, how many games ended within 7 points or less. And historically, we're almost at 60% of the former, so 10 minutes left. So every game coming down to jeopardy, 6 of 10 games, roughly speaking. I think it was like 57%. And then basically 50% of our games last year coming down to the wire, ending within 7 or less points. This year, that's a bit different. We've seen more blowouts than we have on average historically. And I think that's probably in nature of some of the macro things that are happening in rugby across the globe. Teams that are attacking are benefiting from that, and you're seeing that even in our competition. The good news is ball and play is way up in the league, and we're, about 36, just under 36 minutes ball and play, which is pretty high for us as a league. And then still at the wire here, teams are competing to get into the playoffs. That's pretty cool from my perspective.
And the championship's going to be in Chicago. We go into the playoffs. It's great to have you on, Mags, but just before you go, how excited? What will you say to fans to make sure they're there in Chicago come June 21st?
Father's Day final in Chicago. Amazing. Let's get some great barbecue, have some pizza. It's going to be fantastic. Crowds are going to be awesome, and it's going to be an amazing day for rugby. Amazing weekend, really. The whole Fan Fest on Saturday as well in town at the Navy Pier is going to be something pretty special.
Love it, Mags. You need to go and do some cartwheels behind you. Thanks for joining us on Sunday Night Rugby. We'll see you very soon.
I got kids running around. Yeah. Good man. Thank you.
Great to hear from Mags there. Such a trooper he is. For Major League Rugby, back here, though, for Sunday Night Rugby, home field advantage they're playing for. Seattle, though, at home at Starfire today. Mike Petrie, you've played there, I've played there. Just how important is it that they are here at Starfire and they're back here at Starfire for the semi-finals?
I mean, huge. That is absolutely huge. I mean, just take a look at the numbers that are going to come up on your screen right now, and you'll look at that home versus away statistic. I mean, a 75% win percentage, that's unreal. And it's very hard to go play there. It's a narrow field. The crowd energy is incredible. I mean, it is just an electric atmosphere in Seattle.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting matchup. They've been so clinical at home, only losing once this season, of course, the Chicago Hounds, and they've been a side that have only lost 3 games at Starfire in the last 3 years, by the way. That is a stat that is very impressive. Meanwhile, Joey, I want to bring you in here because California Legion, the side that have the attacking weapons, they've shown that they're at top of the tree for numbers like carries made, carry meters gained. This is a side you've had on comms that have been very impressive. They will not mind where they play. They've got threats everywhere. Gonzalo Bertrand and Stefan Krimp are just 2 of them.
Well, they have 3 of the top 5 ball carriers in the league as well. And you think about where this group really gets that culture bred from. It's from Stephen Hoyles, a former Wallaby himself, very similar in a way to Chicago Hounds coach Chris Latham, also a former Wallaby. And I think about a guy like Ed Timpson, truly back-to-back years of straight success, being one of the best forwards in the league in terms of carries, tries scored, post-contact meters as well, 155. These guys have world beaters all over the pitch, and I would put them up against anybody in the league at any particular week. It's about who's peaking at the right time.
Stats make a story there, Mike Petrie. They really do have some great attacking numbers.
Look, California will attack from anywhere. They're fun to watch. I mean, you and I have said it. How good would it be to be playing alongside the likes of Gonzalo Bertrand? The man's like a magician. I don't know how he does it sometimes. They are exciting.
Very exciting. There's so much more excitement here on Sunday Night Rugby. Don't go anywhere. We've got more coming up just on the other side with these 2 gentlemen.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
What a day for the Major League Rugby Championship.
You've got to join us in Chicago. The QR code is there. Go and get your tickets. June 21st, Father's Day. It's a full weekend of action, though. It's not just the game. It's going to be epic. Who will be there? We shall find out. Obviously, this game tonight, the last of the regular season. We have the 2 playoff games next week. Chicago, though, gentlemen. I mentioned the venue. I also got to mention Chicago Hounds because we have kept a close eye, as have Major League Rugby fans. They have been dominant. This man next to me wasn't sure of them at the beginning of the season. You've got to be on the bandwagon now. They absolutely dismantled everyone, including a great win today, Mike Petrie, in the final regular season game.
Yeah, I mean, look, you'd be totally ignorant if you said that Chicago was not the team to beat. They are topping the table in all the numbers. I mean, undefeated season, but I'll tell you what, Chris Latham said it best, their head coach after the game. He said, at this point, nothing matters. It's a brand new season. The playoffs start now, and this is the only thing that actually counts.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what the impact was felt today. They started most of their reserves that have been on the sidelines, and that was also we had a little bit of conversation as well. Was that rest versus rust? But it didn't matter. Guys like Tian Lo stepped up. A hat trick.
Yep.
He hadn't had a try since he was a San Diego Legion player back when he was a teammate with you, Will.
Did not know that.
Yes. So
These
guys are so deep. They're one of the best scrum teams in the entire league. Where does that offense come from? Anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, look, the power is all up front, as you say. They've got everything across the board. Theo Faree, top try scorer. You've got a name for him. Love this. Ready for this?
That's Theo Scory to you.
Okay, Joey Lindstrom, you're welcome. You might as well put a little thing on that, as you're saying. They've been excellent. They also, by the way, Mike Petrie, independent adjudicators vote by the end of this season on who will be player of the year. Top 3, by the way, just to let you know, are Brock Webster, Mason Fletch, Lucas Rumble. Now, trio from Chicago Hounds, and also trio that are Canadian as well. Just got to say that as well. They're dominating all aspects at the moment.
Are you just doing this and singling me out right now because you know that I wasn't on the Chicago bandwagon?
I'm just saying, give me your numbers.
Those are 3 fantastic players. They have had an absolutely lights-out season. I mean, I talked about Gonzalo Bertrand and how exciting he is to watch. Brock Webster, in his own right, phenomenal. He has been so good. Mason Fletch, physical powerhouse. Lucas Rumble, I think every week
workhorse.
He has been absolutely unreal. I mean, so much fun to watch.
Well, I tell you what, those are the 2 forwards that have been so impressive for Chicago. But we come back to tonight's game for Seattle and Legion. The forwards are going to be such an important aspect. So we have Alex Corpusiero on the ground in Starfire. He caught up with the forwards coaches for both sides, and Robbie Abel and Dave Dennis.
Robbie, huge game here at Starfire today. A home semi-final is up for grabs. But let's talk the forwards. Line out first. Last week was a very strong line-out performance. You're hoping for that again today?
Yeah, for sure. We're happy with where we were at last week. Obviously, there's a few things we wanted to work on through the week, which we've done around our game. But controlling the line-out, control possession, that's the basics of rugby, you know. So we'll definitely look to see where we can get to in that space.
Yeah, I thought you disrupted line out well last week, but then let's talk scrum as well, because last week that really turned the screw for you. It got you sort of into the red zone where you can really use that maul and physicality. Is that on the cards again today?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, set piece, scrum, how you build those big blocks of the game and control the ball on your own ball and how you disrupt theirs, you know, those are always going to be big parts. So they're a big pack, a well-drilled pack. They're playing some really good rugby. Set piece is something that they're doing really well. So we'll definitely look to see what we can get to in that space.
Awesome stuff, brother. Yeah, I think set piece could control it, mate. So good luck out there today. Cheers. Appreciate you, bro. Dave Dennis, former MLR champion, also the best-looking coach in the MLR. Huge day for you and California Legion today, especially in the forwards. I know a lot of people are looking at the team sheets thinking maybe line out. Talk to us from a California point of view about the line out today.
Yeah, look, Seattle actually lead the league in clean ball 1 at line out, so they've got a great attacking platform there in their line out, but also the scrum, the whole set piece. They're a tough team, they're at home, it's a gritty field. Like we know what to expect up here from Seattle, so it's going to be a huge contest at set piece time.
Very, very good. And if you look as well in the forwards, I think the contact area as well, the physicality of both sides is quite impressive. If anyone could get an edge there, it could tip the game as well.
Yeah, I think that we've got a back line that wants to play, but you only play when you get that gain line. So and Seattle are the same. They like to throw the ball around. They're not afraid to spread the ball. So I think very much winning that battle in the midfield around the collision, the breakdown, the tackle contest, and seeing who can get the most momentum.
Awesome, Dave, mate. Well, good luck out there, all right? Cheers, take care, buddy. Big love.
Cheers.
Corb speaking to a handsome fella like Dave Dennis. Well, I'm joined by two handsome guys and yourself, Joey and Mike. Just saying, Corb's talking about the big men. You got to love that.
You got to love it. I mean, he said the physicality piece was going to be critical. Seattle at home in Starfire on that narrow field, their Seawolves defense. Physicality is key for them. I think the real question, can California bring that high flair offense into Seattle and win? That's the real question.
That is the question. We shall find out more here on Sunday Night Rugby. But here's a challenge for all of you at home. Have you got a good goose step? Check this out.
All right, Will, we got some San Diego Mustangs out here doing some goose steps for you. First up, we got Jack Baird.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I play for the Utah Mustangs, and this is my goose step. Hi, my name is Finn. I play for the U10 Mustangs Rugby, and here's my goose step.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
Thanks so much to the Mustangs sending in those goose steps. Some great attempts there. We want to see more of that. Talking of fans, we need to go down pitch side because Alex Corpusciero has got one of the #1 fans in Major League Rugby. Corbs, who have you got with you, buddy?
Well, Will, the atmosphere at Starfire is famous, but I've got another famous man coming here, Jim, a.k.a. Broccoli Guy, an absolute legend for MLR folklore. Jim, welcome. obviously here for a big game, but talk to us a little bit about the broccoli for our fans who don't know, origin story.
Yeah, that's a really good question. The idea started at this football game called the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. I danced with potatoes at that game, and I got on SportsCenter doing that. And I decided I wanted to dance with vegetables year-round. Chose broccoli as my year-round vegetable. It looks like natural pom-poms. It's healthy, it's green, it's my favorite vegetable, and it just works with rugby culture. So, yeah.
Awesome stuff. I hear you eat it after the games as well. It doesn't go to waste.
Yes, I try to eat it after every game, and I will put it in a blender with some frozen berries, some protein powder, some water. I'll drink it down. It's kind of a cathartic experience to have after a hard danced game, to just drink a broccoli smoothie.
I might have to join you, mate. I might have to join you. But Jim, thanks for your fans. Bringing the energy. We absolutely love it. Back to you guys in studio.
Oh, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Broccoli guy, what a hero. Oh, how do we transition out of that? Over to you, Joey. What a moment right there.
Yeah,
Great TV.
That's a tough job to transition out of that from the most fibrous man in Washington. Let's think about it. I'll actually intercept this offload and move it to a bit of a fun segment. We're in New York City right now. It is a quaint Sunday night. Tomorrow is Game 3 of the NBA Finals. So I thought we'd give this a little shot. Maybe put some NBA stars in some rugby kits and see what you guys think, where they might fit on the field. That's Jalen Brunson, star and king of New York at the moment. What do you surmise, Mike Petrie?
He looks good. He looks
He's a magic
good.
playmaker. Stick him at fly half.
Wemby, yeah, exactly. You think fly half for Jalen? What do you think about Wemby? That's 7'3", 7'4". Yeah.
Second row has to be.
Has to be second row. Yeah, no questions asked.
Got to put some meat on the bone for sure. And then Shaquille O'Neal, power forward, maybe? What do you think?
Number 8.
Number 8. And look, we've all played that game, and Shaq is always in my lineup. When we pick pro athletes that play rugby, Shaq is always in my lineup.
Got to be joined by like a big baby Davis or something. On the rugby side, Captain America himself, Jason Dom.
Looking there.
He might be fresh at a power forward. Maybe small forward.
Power forward, yeah. I'm not going to lie. I've actually heard good things about him in the court. He knows his hoops.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. I love it.
Honestly, the fact that this show, we just go here, there, and everywhere. But we will come back now to Sunday Night Rugby, and we'll be here for the Seattle Seawolves, of course, against California Legion. And guys, talking of players, love what you did there, Joey. There's 2 standout players I want to focus on. In that 2 guys who were so good last week, Seattle's Paddy Ryan, USA Eagle back rower, and then you've also got Stefan Crimp, the fullback for Legion. Mike Petrie, this guy was brilliant last week.
He was brilliant, and he's exactly what you want out of an open side flanker. He has an engine that never stops. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He's everywhere. On offense, he's carrying, pumping his legs over the line. On defense, he's good, strong, square, over top of the ball. He's everything you want out of a true number 7. He's given some great energy to that Seattle side.
Yeah, he has absolutely done that. And you think about on the opposite side for California with Stefan Crimp. I mean, this guy had a hat trick last week. It was just the second of the season until Tian Lois did it today to make it number 3. He has been a real focal point, a drink stirrer for this group, especially out of the back where they already have a lot of talent, but at fullback, a position where they didn't necessarily need to fill, he's really created quite a wide margin for himself.
Yeah, and actually when I spoke to Stephen Hoyles in the week, he's saying how talented this guy is. He actually can play fly half or fullback, but these were the 3 tries, Joey, that you alluded to. That one there, I mean, that's Gonzalo Berchino, who, by the way, watch out for him. The scrum half, the Argentinian scrum half has been brilliant. But it's great to see American talent coming through in these positions like fly half and fullback.
And I mean, look at his acceleration out of the backfield. He just reads the game so well. His rugby IQ is outstanding, and he plays so well off of a veteran like Berchino. I mean, he's got that presence of mind in your backfield like a veteran. And even though he's a young and up-and-coming player, like you said, I mean, he's been electric for California this season.
So, guys, it's the time of the show where I need to put you on the spot because it's prediction time. It's a big game, the battle for second seed on the West Coast. Who gets it? Does Seattle come back to Starfire next week, or does Legion take it down south to Southern California? Joey, you first.
Oh, me first. Okay, I do struggle with this. I just love watching both these teams play. Where I land, though, at the end of the day, I really think that Seattle gets a lot of the edge, especially at home in Starfire. Not to steal your thunder about the impact of Starfire, Mike, but that's just, I can't deny what Alan Clark and the rest of this group has been building because they were pretty downtrodden to begin the year.
Yeah.
They've really risen to the occasion. I think they get it today.
Yeah, they've come back really. In the last, 4 games, they've won, 5 games. They only had 1 loss. They got absolutely hammered by Chicago, but they have had a bit of consistency. But Legion also have had consistency, Mike. So the attacking threats can they get the job done at Starfire? If there's one team that can literally open any side up, it is Legion.
It is Legion. They when they are good, they look as good as anyone. They look like world beaters at times. I mean, they are so dynamic with ball in hand. They'll attack from anywhere. But again, you know what it's like. You're going to Starfire. That home field advantage for Seattle is something to be reckoned with on that narrow field in that packed stadium at Starfire. I mean, look, I think it's a monumental task for California. I'm going to actually go Seattle at home. It's hard to bet against them.
It is. I mean, Seattle know about getting into playoffs in their history. They've won the championship twice, 2018 and 2019 champions. They will look to try and book a place in Chicago, but they need to get the win today to then give themselves a home semi-final. Joey Lindstrom, Mike Petrie and myself will be back for half-time, and much to discuss, I'm sure, there, and the post-game. But do go and join Mr. Ben Holden and Bree Kim, because they've got the commentary. Kickoff is coming next. It's Seawolves Legion, the last regular game of the season. Go and enjoy.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family and supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
And then we'll just fill in. '30th match of the season in Major League Rugby that comes your way here in the U.S. on ESPN2, and it's a big one. Seattle and California, both 5-4, separated by 3 points. They're playing for the final semi-final spot in the playoffs to begin next week. Ben Holden, Bree Kim, Alex Corbusier will join us from Seattle. The standing shakedown this way. The Chicago Hounds, a tip of the hat to them. They run the table. They go a perfect 10-0. They're the 1 seed. California, Seattle, 2-3. They're battling for that tonight. Old Glory, Bree will play Chicago. But as far as this match goes, this is how all the math will come together tonight.
Well, it's a 3-point difference, as you said, Ben, and here are the different permutations to get the home side advantage next week. Now, Seattle, if they can get the bonus point win and prevent Legion from scoring 1 bonus point, then it's right back here at Starfire next week. Or California, they can win, they can draw, or lose with a bonus point. Again, it's just just that 1 point differential. And if it's the tiebreaker there, you can see California has the advantage. So a number of different permutations, everything to play for, even though it is still just the regular season.
Great stuff. California's won 2 of their last 3 on the road, but the Seattle Seawolves in their venue, Starfire Stadium, they have won 20 of their last 23. The kick is next.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
Tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by CTMS. CTMS Travel, the official travel partner of Major League Rugby. Stop managing travel and start moving. Tukwila, Washington, 11 miles from downtown Seattle. This is where this match will take place tonight on a beautiful night in the Pacific Northwest, joined by the Scrum Jedi himself, the Yoda, Alex Corbisiero. Corbs, what are you watching for tonight?
Ben, my 3 big things to keep an eye out for. The set piece. Seattle are looking for dominance. Can they get it? If California can hold out, that tips the balance back to them. The next is the kicking game. I think Seattle are going to use that a lot as well. And then lastly for me is physicality in the middle of the field. Whoever wins the collisions tips the balance in their favor too.
Great stuff, Corbs. We'll be checking in with Corbs throughout the match. There's the veteran, Luke Rogan. Been in this league since it started in 2018. Assisted tonight the ARs, Chris Asmus and Shanda Asmus. We are set to go here in the final regular season match here in 2026 with a home pitch playoff spot on the line. Bree Kim, you've got your points of emphasis. Why don't you take us through what those are as we begin the match?
Well, why don't we just start by expanding on what Corbs just said. The set piece, so critical. And when we get into the lineouts, you see the first one of the day, California with the first one. But Seattle, they are so good at disrupting, have the most steals, but California gets that one off cleanly.
Yeah, California came into this match worst in the league in the lineout amongst the 6 teams in Major League Rugby at 78%. Their scrum half is number 9. If you're new to rugby, Gonzalo Bertranu, 68 caps with the Argentinian side. This guy is electric. He's like Jalen Brunson out there, to use the basketball tie, and the guys we're talking about in the pre-match show on ESPN Plus. He runs, he directs this shift, and here's a turnover that goes into the hands of Crimp.
By an advantage.
Stephen Crimp,
11 taking the space.
3 tries last week. You hear Luke Rogan, advantage being played. The veteran Billy Meek spins onto the back. Here come the Legion now with that speed, with that shape. Joe Motto, he's greeted, stood up and dropped there by Duncan Matthews. 2 guys that have electricity in their feet. Free California, they love to get at that tempo, right? It's almost like the Showtime Lakers using another basketball analogy. They want to push it as hard as they can.
Absolutely. They love playing at electric pace, and they love playing off of turnovers. We
Number
saw
11
that's how
taking
they
the space.
originally started off with that possession. Seattle, as Coach mentioned, they have to be
Don't
so
stand there, side.
physical
Move
in the
fast.
defense. When they played each other in week 4, Seattle lost that. It was about the 40th minute or so where they really started to crumble. That's how California got so many line breaks. They had 16 line breaks on the day that week. And so Seattle has to make sure that they are watertight. That seawall defense has to be perfect tonight.
And the guy you just saw with
Line's
that
yours,
long
guys. Stay
beard,
on
the
line for
veteran,
me.
the OG in this league, Riekert Hatting. 104 caps. Every one of his caps has been a start. He is really the face of this league going back to when it started. California, that match that you were talking about, Bree, they put up 5 tries. They won by 7. 2 points came in that match in the loss for Seattle. Bonus point for tries. And the losing bonus point, losing by 7 or less.
Move one.
You'll hear Luke Rogan throughout the match. Wireless mic. Again, if you're new to rugby here in the U.S., watching on ESPN2, you will get great insight from that microphone from Luke Rogan. Bertrand, who thought about it. Now a little crisscrossing play there. Put it into the hands there. One of their forwards. Now Billy Meeks trying to bust his way through there. Meeks, 2-time back of the year in this league.
Step back here.
Veteran in this league. Played for the LA Guiltinis. Played for all 3 of the California sides that Major League Rugby's had. RFCLA last year, and now this California Legion side. The Legion down there knocking on the door. Bertrand playing right. Meeks gets in there. He'll pick it up and take it. Lex Weiner is our laws analyst tonight. We were talking with Lex prior to the match, and he was telling us how smart and intellectual Billy is on the pitch. There he is, trying to reach and get in. Seattle, though, that defense Bree talked about, so tough, so physical, especially here at home. Off to the right side, trying to reach and extend. And Rogan will bring him back here.
Offside.
You see, you want to go quick. Here we go.
Here we go indeed. Big time hit there. 2 on the ball right there. Dan Creel, one of them. He's a guy that Alan Clark told us earlier in the week is really somebody that's under the radar in terms of his defensive ability. Doesn't get enough credit.
Step back one.
Big play there. Pick and go from the back from California here. 3-point lead in the standings for the Legion. Advantage now being played for them. Meeks hit, bounces off, ball down on the floor, and Kutzer, Davey Kutzer there with a touch, and we'll reset here.
I think referee's going to have a quick chat with Hatting.
Okay, so
2 penalties in the last few minutes.
Them on attack. You guys need to be better down here about giving away penalties. Next one's going to go to the bin. I have a message to you boys. Clean it up. There's a couple of times where it's clear. That one, he needs to make an effort. Next one's going to go.
And here's the thing, when you make those tackles and you're trying to get out of the breakdown, California is going to try to keep you trapped in, make it messy, draw that penalty, and here the big boys get ready to go.
They'll shift out of the way now, and California goes to work, the veteran. Joe Tafatea, close to 40 caps for the USA Eagles. Now trying to stretch and extend and get through there was Ronan Murphy. Well short of that try line. Ball must be grounded. You have to dot it down to the turf in this sport. Good job by Seattle again. Another advantage here being played for California. Bertrand, who could not get in there and get it. Now Rogan right in there on the side. Bertrand spins it deep now. They'll work it out. They'll dummy. Good tackle getting out there by J.P. Smith, making another start at the wing position. Scrum half for most of his career, but he's a versatile guy. Here's the captain for California, Jason Dom. And a knock on here.
California knocked the ball forward, but we're playing with another penalty.
And Rogan going to the pocket here, Bree, not messing around.
Well, he made it pretty clear just a second ago. Told Hatting that they needed to clean up the mess, and initially they had a good response.
You're offside.
But then Lindenmuth
repeated team infringements.
And there you go. California now looking to punish.
They sure are. They average 5 tries a match. even 5, 45 in their previous 9 matches coming in. Seattle just over 4 at 4.2 if you want to get technical. 38 on the season for them. So both can score. Obviously, California a little more. Lyndon Muth going to go into the bin here in the 6th.
Number 1 off the other side of the ruck was halfway up the ruck. He needs to be better.
Just hear Hutting pleading, just trying to make a case.
You guys aren't rolling either. That's also clear. Yeah, you got to make an effort.
I just love being able to hear the communications there, and of course they're going to have to make adjustments because Lyndon Muth comes off. Now you've got the front row supplemented here.
Lerome White has checked in. Good look at Lerome there. Big boy up front, one of their props. To Breeze Point. A conversation here with Bertranu.
First scrum of the night. California is 100% from their own feed, 47 of 47. Excellent platform to attack from here.
Dangerous in this set piece are the Legion. Bertranu, so experienced, back of the year in this league last year. He gets it back into his hands. Here he goes, stretching, trying to reach, and he gets home. Rogan's got the arm in the air, and Gonzalo Bertranu gets home for his 5th try of the season. California on top, 5-0.
Well, who else is it going to be? Of course, that man himself, Bertranu, just taking control. But look at the dominance here from the Legion pack, just in control, and then just an easy feed. Bertranu still has to do plenty of work, but finds that seam between the 2 Seawolf defenders. Here's another great look, and just in control. That man has had so many carries this season, this one resulting in 5.
Yeah, in fact, leads the league, came in number 1 with 114. Leads in passes, again, that distribution of the ball. He's so good at it. His kick is going to stay wide as Milne can't connect, and Kobe Milne has been a massive pickup for California. And there's Lyndon Muth still in the bin. He's still got about 8 minutes to go, so California going to try to take advantage of that.
Yeah, they've got to kill the clock as much as they can, and going back to Bertranu, I mean, he is just the triple threat, right? He's so good at distributing from the ruck, but he's so wily, he's so dynamic off the ruck. He just catches you sleeping. And then you can see the California coaches there pleased with the first 7 minutes of this match. And then the last thing I'll say about Bertranu is his kicking too, right? We saw the highlight reels last week.
Yeah.
The beautiful kicks.
It's both ways.
To
First by
crimp.
blue. No, second by red. It's both
And
ways.
all that to say, Ben, he's just so difficult to defend. I mean, he plays on another level in this league.
He does his 25th start in Major League Rugby. Again, 68 caps with Argentina. World-class player. He's been a huge addition in this league. He's up the level of skill in this league, certainly up the level of his own side. But he's made other 9s better, too, because of his play, right?
Yeah, I mean, talk about the depth that you can help build and playing behind them. You can see just what it means to have that international flair and experience to get yourself developed and bring up the level of play around yourself.
So a scrum here, double knock on. California, the put in, Bertranu. Seattle looking for a turnover here. Down a man here still for about 6 minutes. Marnu Redlinghuyse, USA Eagle, looking on. Now the penalty kick will come here from Milne. Was a top scorer in his last couple stops in his pro career overseas. Comes from a great family of rugby players. His father, he's got brothers that play, and he has not missed a beat. Came in as the top scorer in the league entering this weekend. It is week 11 now, the final weekend and final regular season match of MLR.
I mean, you look at this graphic, right? Points scored. I mean, Milne just leads it, right? And that's what you expect from your 10s. But 91 points total on the season, and just the difference that he's been able to create week after week. There were big shoes to fill from last year, and Milne has stepped up to the task.
He sure has. Outstanding player. Here's Bertranu to the breakdown to the base of that ruck. Joe Mano. Dangerous man is Mano a couple of times in his career. Heavy clean out by Foodie in there. Took Meeks out of it. Mano twice in his career with Utah, scored 14 tries. this season entering play tonight. He's got 5. Here's a kick through by Meeks, but a little bit too much on it as it'll find touch.
Look, it's all about creating pressure through the attack, too, and looks like they're going to go quick now.
Yeah, they are.
Hold in front, hold 5, 17.
Voice of Luke Rogan trying to get that ball on the near touchline. Unable to is the Legion.
And that was a good response from Seattle. What I was just about to say with Meeks' kick there, why not? Put them under some pressure, make them make a decision, potentially make an error, but was cleaned up well from Seattle. Now they have more pressure off of their chest, and look, just killing some more time off the clock so that they can get back to full strength.
Well, let's be honest, Bree. It's been 10 minutes played in this match, and Seattle's barely had the ball. They have not had the ball. California has come out and controlled it from the get-go.
And we've seen a lot of Legion set piece already in these first 10 minutes, and so far they've been perfect.
Here's Bertranu from the base. Second level, he played it. Now Crimp.
10, stop. You're in front.
Kick and chase here for the Legion, trying to get down there, get it to set up, and it's gathered in, taken by Andre Warner. Andre Warner, good ball offloaded there into the hands of Rousseau, but it finds touch. And Chris Asmus there, the AR, says that is California ball.
Oh, and a costly error for Seattle. But take a look at this kick from Crimp. What I like about California, look, we know that this field is narrow. It's about 2 meters narrower than most of your fields in this league. And I think what California is doing to help mitigate that is put more pressure through grubbers just like that. And now they get the ball back.
That one did not look straight. Yep, and that's the case. And there's Warner. What a combo Seattle has, Bree. We had them last week. You see his numbers on the season, very good numbers. He and Davey Kutzer were together a couple of years in Houston. That's one reason why Seattle, who was 1-3 and in dead last back in April, has now clinched the playoff spot and battling for a home spot here tonight.
Look, we were just praising the other scrum half, Bertranu, but Andre Warner, I don't think gets talked about enough. He's a huge voice in the back line, and there we see his counterpart, or his partner in crime, I should say, Kutzer. But Warner, he's been such a consistent performer, and these two just know each other so well. And to have that chemistry brought into such a short season like this just helps bring it up to another level.
Davey Kutzer, I'm sure, is listening here to Rogan first.
All the way through the break foot. I need you guys to hold your weight.
Let's go again.
Yep.
And again, if you're new to rugby here in the U.S., watching on ESPN2 tonight, that's something you hear the referees do a lot. They give the guys every chance they can to make sure they get it right the way they want it. And if they don't, then we see what happened with the card earlier.
Yeah, and you could see that Seattle was putting some pressure early on the California scrum.
You guys need to sort your space out. Let's go. Come on. Quick reset. Let's go. Don't double crutch.
There's Davey Kutzer there. I was mentioning about him. When these two played back in April, all he did was put up 21 points. He had 2 tries and did the rest of his damage with his boot. As you can see, it's a pretty good number.
Yeah, huge success rate. And it's funny because Clarkey describes him as quietly excellent.
I don't know how quiet
But those points are loud, man.
Right, that's on 11, right? Use a Spinal Tap reference. So it's a penalty here going the way of Seattle. And as Bree and I just mentioned a couple of minutes ago, as Joe Mano settles in, Seattle really has not had much possession and ball in hand here yet in this match.
No, they have not. We think back to week 4 when they last played. The first 20 minutes of that match, Seattle was in control, almost cruise control at that. And then they started missing tackle after tackle.
Yep.
More line breaks started to rack up for California. Can't believe it's the last SNR of the regular season, Ben. And Seattle just started to open up, and then California just leaked. I'm sorry, not leaked points. They just did damage to them. Seattle were the one that were leaking points. Bit of a different story here tonight, but we'll get back into that a little bit more later.
As you saw that tweet there, you can get on X and tweet at us. Hashtag MLR 2026 to get your tweets on the air.
He's through the middle.
Something we've been doing throughout the season. All against California. So here's Seattle, and there's Sean McNulty, their hooker. Second stint with the Seawolves. Veteran guy, played for a half dozen sides in this league over the 9 seasons, 8 full, but 2020 wiped out, but 9 seasons. He's been around, well-traveled, well-experienced, and they're going to get a chance in their set piece now.
I don't want you guys to keep moving.
And it's the first visit to their opposition 22.
Access is good.
Clean line out here.
McNulty at the back. Sean McNulty. Now they drive ahead. McNulty just pushing it. Rogan's got the arm in the air, and Seattle counters. Rhino Herbst and company in there. Patty Ryan and company in there. And Seattle's got it level. And the man they call Broccoli Man is happy. There's Patty Ryan. 6 tries on the season, had 2 last week. He has come into his own this season, Bree Kim.
Oh, I think he was just waving to his parents in the stands right there, Benny. Seattle, first trip to the opposition 22. Talk about efficiency, scores in a much-needed try. Take a look here, just a clean line out, and then just had the momentum from the get-go. You can see they were able to shear off and then just get that clean put down right in front of Broccoli Man and Broccoli Man Jr., I think.
So here's Kutzer to try to convert this to give it a 2-point lead in this match. You mentioned Patty Ryan. His parents are here. He hadn't seen him since Christmas, he told us the other day. So they're here for the weekend. They're going back Tuesday. I said, you don't want to have them stick around for the playoff matches. Kutzer sticks that one with relative ease. Patty Ryan, the try, the conversion from Kutzer at 7-5 Seattle. Down to the pitch, the Corbs.
Ben, it's been an exciting opening session, but to me, California started very strong. What I was impressed with in the contact area is their height in the carry. They're going low, hard. They weren't passing a lot, and that got them good reward. The other area I thought they were impressive was their kicking game. They kick to compete. They're trying to keep Seattle down in their own half because you can see how dangerous Seattle are when they're in the other side of the field. And the Legion are going to have to find a way to deal with that maul because they're getting the punch, they're filling in the numbers, and Legion are a bit more wide, worrying about some of the peels and not getting enough men in front of that first initial punch to try and stop it at source.
Great stuff, Corbs. Thanks. Appreciate it. We'll keep our eyes on that. We'll check in with Corbs throughout the night here. Ezekiel Lindenmuth has served his time in the sin bin, so the 10 minutes are up. So if you're Seattle, Bree, you got to be thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, look, you unfortunately took some points, but then you were able to get it back and with that kick go over. But now they need to play with a little bit more possession, cause some turnovers because the possession is right now in California's favor.
Here's a ball played on to Thama. Down to the floor he went. Now California driving, pushing ahead. Nick Chan with a carry. Big push, big drive. Bertranu clean in there, gets it free at the base. Back to Milne. 330-pound Tonga Kofe getting a touch. Now Crimp, he kicks one. Will it set up? No, it won't.
He's in front.
Whistled, and he got in front of the ball, says Luke Rogan. Did the chaser over there.
Yeah, just putting some more pressure on it, as we spoke about just a few minutes ago.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Rick, what was that? Yeah. Offside.
And so as they set up for the kick, Ben, you could see immediately, and Corbs was just talking about it, the strategy that California is employing, and that puts more pressure on the Seattle back three as we get a look at head coach Alan Clarkey right there. But it just puts more pressure on them. And so as a wing for Seattle, you have to be even more disciplined. You have to read, especially when to come flying up in defense. You don't want to go too fast past the ball because you know that if you go up too high, they're going to punish you, try to put that kick behind you. So it's all this balancing act. And, you know, we talk about J.P. Smith, who has been an immense winger for Seattle this year. It's because of that understanding how to play from a defensive standpoint at wing.
5th start on the wing for Smith, who is the most capped Seattle player. North of 110, he plays it on cue there, right into the hands there of the target. That was Matthews, now Foodie.
Picked it up, play on.
Challenged by Mono. Worked free now.
Don't take him off the...
Patty Ryan. Now here comes Creel. Big crashing run there from the veteran. Dan Creel, 5th year with Seattle. 67th appearance tonight. 13 tries in his career in Major League Rugby here in the States. Callum Botcher, capped Canadian international. player than Alan Clark is Redlinghuyst. Took a big shot there.
Backwards.
Pair of Eagles there. Tafetea with a big shot, the veteran there. And a big heavy hit. Now the kick inside of the 22. Legion can't get it. Mono's got to chase after it. Mono under pressure. And Foodie in there to pressure him.
It's touched. It's gone dead, so it'll be a 5-meter scrum.
I'm not sure that Foodie realized that he could have had that ball. He just went right for California, but
I think he does now, unfortunately for Seattle.
That's right.
But here's a look.
Well, let's take another look here. Big shot from Joe Tafetea right on the big guy, Redlinghuyst.
So you want to be a rugby player, huh?
There you go. But a little bit of messy ball, so Kutcher goes ahead and puts so much hang time on that kick that allows Foodie to get down there. And just look, the sun is going into California's eyes. It's hard to defend. So good pressure from Seattle, but Ben, something a little bit more concerning for me. We saw Duncan Matthews go down on the field there. Looked like he was in a bit of pain, tried to get up, but was really grimacing. So you hope that he's all right because he is so instrumental to this attack.
Leads the league in meters gained coming into this final weekend.
You haven't gone forward. You haven't gone forward.
Instruction there to the captain, Jason Dom, the captain of the United States side, and we'll do this again. Warner's got ball in hand.
First, not around after. You didn't. You went on one side. Got to go both sides.
Loving the clear comms from Rogan there. Just good management of the scrum early on. What he's saying there is he's not going to reward California unless they are clearly going forward. That was the message to Tafetea right there, instead of being on an angle.
Take the space. Let him have the space. Sure. Yep. Let's go. Come on, quick reset. Let's go.
Everybody in a lather already out there in Seattle. It's a good look at Jason Dom there in the middle. Captains USA Eagles for head coach Scott Lawrence. Busy July coming up for them. Be remiss if I didn't mention the USA Sevens, the men today. Zach Tess leading them back into Series 1 in the World 7 Series. Congrats to Testy and his guys. Turning is Warner, back to Foodie. Foodie, Bertranu on him. Ryan trying to push in there. Timpson trying to come away with it, and he did.
Mate, you're clearly on the floor, and you've batted it back.
But he did it illegally.
Cynical.
Oh, and immediately goes into the pocket. Timpson just in disbelief there. And that is huge for Seattle, right in front of the try line. They're just foaming at the mouth. As we get another look here coming out of the scrum.
Very careful. That's pretty cynical. No, you've had the one over there too.
You know, keep an eye on Timpson here. Already on the floor. That's a tough call. I'm not sure about that, Ben, but Seattle, here we go.
Here we go indeed. Getting the push on. The Seawolves on top by 2 here. These two playing for that second seed in the upcoming playoffs to begin next Sunday. Will it be in California? Will it be in Seattle again? This one knocked on.
Now we'll take hydration.
My, oh my. We'll get our hydration break here as we've just hit the 24th minute from Tukwila, Washington. 11 miles outside of Seattle. These two sides, Seattle, California, playing for that number 2 seed in the upcoming playoffs. We'll be right back after this.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
California in red, Seattle in blue, and Bree Kim, this has been a physical one from the start.
Well, we knew it was going to be, but already some crunching hits in the first 20 minutes. Taking a look at that.
7-5, Seattle on top. They are separated by 3 points in the standings. Ed Timpson there in the sin bin just got the yellow. Want to remind you our first hydration break was brought to you by Recover 180, the organic sports hydration drink built for today's athlete. So it comes down to this, and the mountain for Seattle, you think about it in the big picture, 2 points they got in the loss to California. So if they don't get those, they're 5 back. They could still get there, but it would probably be a little bit tougher with that point differential. So those 2 points might be the reason this final match here in week 11, match 30 of the year, means so much, Bree.
Yeah, good shot of the scrum there. I think that just kind of illustrates what everything means tonight and what it means for next week.
The beautiful game on display, and there's a tough carry from California. Ryan made the tackle. He's their top tackler, one of the tops in this league. California trying to get some clearance, get out of their own 22. Mono's out there. Joe Mono lays it back. Bertrand quickly moves on.
Move one.
In the hands of Michael Scott.
Take him back.
Stephen Hoyles told us the other day, he said, I think he's one of the most underrated loose heads in the league. Plays the left side of that front row. Came right back into the hands of J.P. Smith. Down to the floor he goes. Rousseau in there on the clean out. Ball was knocked down. It'll stay with Seattle.
He's trying to get back onside. You've deliberately passed it into him.
Bertrand who's still asking the ref about the ball earlier.
He's not trying to actively get back onside. He was doing that from the scrum. He's deliberately passed it into him. We're not going to play out. No.
J.P. Smith there, Bree. You talked about his versatility. You see what he can do. Some of the key offensive categories. It's not an easy change, is it, to play wing, going from 9 to wing?
There's some similarities, right? But clearly the athleticism of Smith helps him become so versatile for defense, but specifically, and we mentioned this a little bit earlier in the match, it's that understanding of his defensive role, right? Because especially with a side as lethal as California and as fast pace as California, you have to be able to turn on the burners very quickly after slowing up, and that acceleration, deceleration is so important, and being able to do that in such a short amount of time, Smith does so well. And now Seattle draws another scrum penalty. I think that's 2 in a row now for the Seawolves.
So that'll allow Davey Kutzer here to bang this one down with a boot, set him up for a line-out upcoming here. 2-point lead. Ed Timpson went into the sin bin in the 23rd minute, so he's only been in there about 2.5 minutes. And it's a 7-5 Seattle lead. Watching from Scotland, great to hear. Outstanding. Keep those tweets coming. Hashtag MLR 2026. Great to have you with us. And I say this often on any broadcast I do, but wherever you're watching, and one thing I love about this sport, Bree, it is international, it is global. Played in so many countries around the world.
Yeah, but I'm still affected the tackle.
World Cup coming here in 31 on the men's side, the women 2 years after. Great to have you with us here in the U.S. too, and elsewhere around the world.
And I love that dedication. It's probably like 4 a.m. in
trying
Scotland
to be
right
loud
now.
enough,
But he just, oh look, Rogan just gets in the way of Tafetei.
Let's go.
And the Seattle attack, so just gonna have a restart here off the line out.
Here we go, boys.
38-31 when they met back in week 4. 12 points on the board here. 26 minutes into this one.
Hey, wing us out, yeah? Wing us out. He might come and snap.
Crouch.
Watch a pick, Cyril. Watch a pick.
See the alignment for Seattle. That's Foodie, bottom of your screen. He's got plenty of speed to burn. A dangerous guy out there.
Ball away. Ball's at the back. Play it away. Ball's at the back.
Rogan telling Warner to play it. He does. Warner keeps it for a second. Now plays it back for Kutzer. Pressure coming. California gets in there. Forcing him back. Matthews into the hands of Kutzer. Now here's the dangerous Foodie. Foodie bounces off of Mono. Gets a couple of more meters. Warner plays it left to Patty Ryan. Again, what a season he's having. Really a breakout year for him. Just a couple of years in this league. He said he always wanted to come over here to get a chance to play for the U.S. And here's a ball played back. Initial carry from Lindenmuth. The loose head prop. Now Mario Redlingice. Down on the floor it goes. Botcher plays it back. Little helter-skelter here. Matthews out in space. Hatting gets the ball on the offload into the hands of Foodie. Ina Foodie inside of the 5 now. Spun free. Botcher, another tough carry. California, they're standing up. Warner. Kutzer. Now Rousseau played that ball off. Matthews coming over to play it. Laid back for Warner. Now Redlingice. Takes on a couple, gets a couple more meters. McNulty to the 5-meter line. Knocking on the door again is Seattle. Now Rousseau. Billy Meeks takes him down to the floor. Kutzer spins it quick on a short little pass there into the hands of J.P. Smith. Back for Botcher. Greeted by his counterpart there, Ronan Murphy, the 2 locks, number 4s.
Backwards.
Lyndon Muth, nowhere to go. Now McNulty runs into Lance Williams. Lyndon Muth again, the big prop, looking for a pair of hands to find. He does. Now Rousseau pins it outside of the edge to the line and home. Duncan Matthews gets it down. And Seattle extends the lead. It's 12-5 here in the 29th.
What a fantastic display of attack from the Seawolves in front of that crowd. He was loving it. Duncan Matthews, who else is going to take that try? But it was a side-to-side, full-team affair, Ben. Phase after phase, the composure, the improvisation of each phase. Take a look here, big carry and just keeping it alive, just making California have to respond, and then spots the outside, just a little bit of space, but that's all that Matthews needs to work with. So efficient right now is this Seawolves attack. They don't have a lot of possession, but when they do have that ball in hand right in front of that try line, they're gonna make you pay.
They sure will. Here's Kutzer, who nailed the first conversion on a beautiful kick from distance. And again, if you're new to watching rugby here in the U.S., where that ball is touched down is where the kick, it comes all the way out, it aligns with it. So you see where Davey Kutzer's got to kick this from. That is not an easy kick. He strikes with the right, and Davey Kutzer gets it to go. Sticks it in that bottom right corner. That's why this guy had 21 points when these two sides met back in April. What a kick.
Just a prolific right foot on that guy. And then as for the try scorer there, we've talked about him already. Leads the league in carry meters, 3rd in the league for number of carries, because you want to get the ball in his hand, see what he can do. Gets another 5 for this side.
South African descent here is Riekert Hatting. He's that same South African descent too. Offloaded the ball there to Botcher. He's going to go into touch though. And for Duncan Matthews, his 20th career try, his 3rd of the season. California trying to go quick, so California, let's see what their response is.
And look, they've been suffocating on defense. They've really been physical, and they've really used the sideline as that 16th man, have been able to force Seawolves already twice into that sideline. And we take a look at the replay. Just bumping off multiple guys is the captain.
He just looks like a rugby player, doesn't he? I mean, everything about the guy. The first time I ever saw him and called a rugby match in 2019, he was in it. Seattle won their 2nd straight championship. That was year 2 of the league. And I was like, wow, this guy's an absolute warrior. And he's still going. Pretty impressive what Riekert Hatting's done. Another guy that's been around Seattle a long time is that guy, Rhino Herbst, another great rugby name and a great tough rugby player.
He does so much hard work in and around the breakdowns and on the defense. He's a huge leader there. And you don't really see his name turn up in too many of the stats because he's just doing all of the grinding and gritty work to enable the guys around him to get those stats.
Alan Clark there, the head coach in the middle with a headset on. He loves all his guys, but we talked to him about Hatting a couple of weeks ago and said, is there anything you can add that hasn't been said? And he said, no, Ben, there's really not. He's just a consummate pro and the leader of our group.
Not you.
And And you can see here just from this penalty, Ben, California starting to let their discipline up a little bit. At the beginning of the match, we saw how low they were in their offensive carries, in their tackles, but now starting to cheat up a little bit. Penalty going against them, giving the territory back to Seattle.
Time's off.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Our good friend here in Major League Rugby circles, James Dealey up there in Toronto, won 20 of their last 23. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. But that's how you get on the show here. Hashtag MLR 2026. So stoppage here is a little wrap being applied to the right ankle there.
We talked about one of the big storylines being the battle for the home field advantage. We know that as we keep an eye on the scoreline all throughout the match. But here's a funny stat. As many of 20 of the 28 teams in postseason matches over the years in Major League Rugby have come out on top. 20 of the 28 teams, that's a 71% win ratio. So really that home field advantage means everything.
It sure does. That's a great number. I saw that too, and you and I both doing our prep here on a Sunday in New York City. And it does, and it's such a huge advantage. When the San Diego Legion were in this league, Torero Stadium was a massive home pitch advantage. There are others. California this year doesn't really have a home. Their home is the state of California. They played in 5 different venues. Another big collision there with Red Wing Highs. Here's Rieker Hatting now. He gets dropped down to the turf by Lance Williams. So here comes Seattle again. Up 14-5. 34th minute here.
Falling, clearly falling.
Warner plays it. Played it on to Lyndon Muth. He played it. Now they'll work the outside edge out there into the hands of Creel. Creel up that touchline again. And another try for Seattle as the blood comes out of the left eye above it of Dan Creel. That ain't stopping him. 19-5 Seattle.
Well, the Seattle backs have really been asserting themselves. So dominant, but working hard off of the ball. The whole reason that Creel was able to dot that one down is because of the recycling from the ruck. So take a look here, all the way out on the right-hand side. You can see the big forward carry, but you saw just running off of the screen. The backs working hard. These guys right here recycled off of the other side of a previous ruck just to create the numbers advantage. And then just had to execute the micro skills to let Creel get that score. But there is a challenge coming, it sounds like.
Yeah, there is.
33.
So let's go to our laws analyst, Lex Ray Vision, my man, right behind us here in the studio. Lex, what are we looking at here?
Look for head contact.
So, like on the field live, you could clearly hear Luke Rogan saying that the ball carrier was falling, therefore there's no foul play. So let's just assume that we're looking at that exact instance. So let's see.
Okay. So in stadium, you see Luke Rogan on the left, Shanda and Chris Asmus on the right, looking up at the scoreboard. There, you get a look at it there. So Lex, what do you see in just one look at it? What do you see from that?
Play it too slow for me, George, here. Okay, so he's clearly falling. Before the collision even starts, correct? And I'm seeing most of the contact come through the chest and then head, right, as he's falling. So we don't actually have foul play for me because he's falling. The player is bent. If he would have come in at a normal tackle, he would have hit him in the chest. Have we got any other angle, George? Okay, can't really see from that angle. Yeah, let's play it through this one, George. Okay, so he's falling and we've got the player on the outside makes contact first, then he's falling and then the head contact's incidental. So I'm not seeing any foul play there for me. Guys, any foul play? Yeah, yeah, just confirm the time. Okay, so it is that tackle.
All right, Lex, let's bring you in again. Once this decision's given here by Luke Rogan.
Following a team challenge by Seattle, it is determined that there is no foul play. The player is falling. Seattle lose their challenge. Try stands.
And that's big. You get one per match, so they're out. Lex, take us through what you saw and what the ruling is and why was it what it is.
Timing on.
Well, Luke saw it live on field, described it in real time accurately, and the review confirmed what he saw live on the field, which was, yes, there might have been head contact, but doesn't mean there's always foul play because the ball carrier was always falling before the contact was made, therefore nothing to penalize.
Thank you, Lex. We appreciate that. Here's Kutzer trying to make it 3 for 3 from pretty much the same spot, Tim. Are you kidding me? 21 when they met back in April. He's knocked through 3 so far in this one, and it's 21-5. Let's check in with Corbs.
Guys, it's really interesting. Seattle have been very efficient down there in the 22. And what I've noticed is that both tries have come when they've gone back the other way and they've caught Legion narrow on the edge. Steve Hoyles does not like line speed. He likes contain, dominate the contact, try and strip the ball. And at the moment in the 22, Legion haven't been able to do that. And they've been caught narrow on that short side. And sometimes without line speed, it's easier to move the ball wide as well.
Corbs, I want to ask you something. You coached in this venue when you were with the Legion, when they were in San Diego. Do the 2 meters matter that much when you're playing this sport or not? That it's shorter or narrower?
Hugely. It's a game of inches. When you're in the narrower field, think Al Pacino, any given Sunday, it's a game of inches. That's why Legion, when they started well, were going really low in the contact and just trying to get quick ball. It stops Seattle then going to get their line speed because you've got to play through teams here more than around with the lack of width.
Great stuff, Corbs. Bree?
Yeah, I mean, look, this game is all about playing in phone boxes. Every little one-on-one wrestle all across the pitch. Oh, big shot there, but Seattle able to retain it.
Huge shot delivered there.
7!
Like Chan getting over there, making that hit. So Seattle on top here by 16. California opened the scoring in the 6th minute. Gonzalo Bertranu with the try, but since then, Seattle has ripped off 3 in a row, Bree, and they're a point away from getting the bonus point for 4 tries. Remember, the significance tonight, California's in 2nd place. The top 2 seeds get a home match in the playoff round next week for the semis. Seattle 3 back. So another try, they pulled it within 2. They need 4-0 or 5-1. Those combinations would work for them. Or just get full boat.
There you go. But right now they're just swallowing the California attack. And their efficiency in the opposition 22, that's what they struggled with in week 4 against the Legion. They really had a hard time with that. They had 11 visits in week 4 to that 22, and they only had 4 tries. It's a low conversion rate, but this time, it's a totally different turn.
California side, as we've told you, they can flip the switch in a hurry. There's a big, tough physical carry from their captain, Jason Dom. Now we're seeing in the match Cash Malawia wearing 22, football background. He's got electric feet. Awkward collision there, and yet to get up is Crimp, now just getting up. The fullback 15 there, trotting back to the back of that back line. Now Billy Meeks. Meeks out over the top, drops it right in the bucket. Malawia, little goose step. The big man using some power now. Here comes the Legion. Ball offloaded there. The hands of Thama now spun free to Meeks. Meeks inside. There goes Timpson. And Timpson, who was in the bin a few minutes ago, but now he's in the try zone of the Legion. Snap one back just like that.
Well, it seemed like that just came out of nowhere. And Timpson, coming off of the yellow card, comes back and strikes. Legion not to be outdone. Take a look here. Nice little ball, just patient ball from Meeks. Enables Timpson to bisect that gap perfectly. And Seattle caught sleeping in that phase. These 2 guys, they were out last week, Timpson and Meeks. California very happy to have them back this week. They weren't sure if they were going to be healthy enough, but boy, they have such an impact.
There's Milne, he'll tack on the 2-point conversion. So a 21-12 match now. And Timpson, just his 2nd try this year, Glad you brought that up, because that was an area Stephen Hoyles talked about, how big it was to get him back this week. Last year he had 7. So if they can get him going here in the next 2 weeks, they hope. We know they'll play next week, but if they get him going, that's another weapon added for California.
Well, I mean, he may only have 2 tries this season, but he's a league leader in a couple of different categories, right? Number of defenders beaten, 42. Post-contact meter at 155. I mean, this guy, he just gets steamrolling on the attack, and there we go. Steve Hoyles right there getting ready to meet his boys back in the sheds in just a minute. Happy with that response, but there's going to be some messages in the sheds.
The former Wallaby playing for his native Australia. Both these head coaches are guys that have won. Their sides are always in the mix. Alan Clark, Seattle in the playoffs every year. They've been to, in the franchise history, as Meeks chases this one down 4 times, 2-2 in the final. Alan Clark not around for the first 2. Here's a ball to the edge now. Here comes Joey Mono. He's dangerous. Mono. He's yanked down. Bertrand quickly in there. Back for Meeks now. Works through him. Milne takes a look, now carries it himself. You're in the final seconds here of half number 1. Battle for the number 2 seed in the playoffs that begin next Sunday night. Back here on ESPN2. Great job to get rid of that ball. 10 o'clock kick time. Will it be in California? Will it be in Seattle? Following night, Chicago will face Old Glory DC from Chicago in the other semifinal. Following weekend, championship. Here comes California on the move. Nick Chan picked up by Malawia. McNulty gave him a bump, took him down to the floor. Now the big man, Kofe. Rogan to the whistle. Seattle getting the ball back. They didn't release in time. That goes against California.
That's a huge win for Seattle right there. Legion was just knocking on their doors, trying to get some more points before halftime. But for Seattle, we saw there was a player down earlier, and that is Riekert Hadding, who's still down.
Well, I won't have the 12 coming in. Okay. You're talking to me like that.
Yes, sir.
Have a chat now.
Yes, sir.
He's one morning, next time he's going to sit in the bed.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
There you see the respect in this sport. Amazing display right there between referee and Captain Jason Dom and Davey Kutza into the seats. That's it. Seattle will take a 9-point lead, Bree Kim, into halftime. We will step aside. Will and the gang will take you through halftime here on Sunday Night Rugby. Seattle up by 9.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
Sunday Night Rugby here on ESPN2. It's been bone crunching between Seattle Seawolves against California Legion. Both teams wanting that number 2 spot. A home semi-final up for grabs last week. The tries have been coming in, both from Legion and Seattle. I'm joined here myself, Will Hooley, with USA Hall of Famer Mike Petrie and the analyst of MLR broadcast, Joey Lindstrom. We're seeing the tries come in for the first half here, Mike. The power was shown by Seattle in that first 40 minutes.
The power from both teams, Will. I mean, they really just put on such a performance in that first half. I mean, look at the hits. Joey Tapatei, I mean, absolute bone crunching is right, but then it gets a little bit loose here. Seattle had taken California through the phases, and then they end up scoring in the corner through Duncan Matthews for their second try of that first half. And again, more big hits coming through. California just laying markers down. That one was looked at as a high tackle, but brought back. There was no foul play, and instead they swing the ball to the outside. Creel scores in the corner. That would be all 3 of Seattle's tries for the first half. And California, not to be outdone, Timpson, after a nice 10-minute rest from his yellow card earlier, punches one in. And I'll tell you what, California, though, showed at the end of that half a glimpse of what they're capable of.
There's some bone-crunching tackles. There's 2 former players I do not miss playing, but I tell you what, some of these stats, Joey, take a look at these. What stands out for you?
Yeah, as a non-former player, I don't miss it either. These are some spine-tingling hits. You think about where the meters made matters, and really post-contact meters made is something that you can really see being effective. A lot of broken tackles out there. Saw it on the Dan Creel try as well.
More here on Sunday Night Rugby half-time. Join us after this. Do not go anywhere.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
Get involved in this one, because if you want to get a chance of free tickets to the Major League Rugby Championship on June 21st, well, there's an MLR fan engagement survey. QR code's there. Get involved, get going, and you could be in Chicago. You'll want to be there. What a day, what a weekend we've got coming up. More here, though, on Sunday Night Rugby. This is the last game of the regular season. 2 teams going at it for a chance to have a home semi-final next week. Ben Holden, Bree Kim with the second half action of Seawolves Legion coming up after this.
to put out a performance that our fans, family, and supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
What a day for the Major League Rugby Championship.
Yeah, that's what they're playing for. And tonight in Seattle, outside of Seattle, Ben Holden, Bree Kim, Alex Corbisiero, pitch side. Bree, walk us through the scenario tonight as these two battle for that second and final semifinal playoff spot, the home spot.
Well, look, if we're taking a look at the scoreline now, 21-12. Seattle has 3 tries, California has 2. Most likely scenario from that is that first one. If Seattle can score one more try, they will get the bonus point for scoring 4, and they need to prevent Legion from scoring 4 tries as well. If they win with that scenario, then they would get the home advantage.
Good stuff. Let's get down to Alex Corbisiero. His thoughts, his assessments. Corbs, what do you got?
Thanks, Ben. Just messages out of both camps, and they're quite similar, to be honest. The key message is possession. Who holds the ball is getting the reward. Referee is penalising the defensive team, so discipline is an issue. But Robbie Abel said physicality. Who wins the physicality battle in the middle? Who can keep hold of the ball? That's the team that's probably going to win this. If you look, Legion early had possession, but when it kind of went away from them, they weren't able to hold on to the ball. And that's what Dave Clancy said. Anytime we've got more 4 or 5 phases, we've had really good results. We just need to do that a little bit more, just like that turnover just before the half. Key moments, if they can convert there, this is a tight game.
Corb's got one more thing for you. You're there. I know you're working on finding out what you can on Riekert Hatting. He's out of the match. How does that change things? In what way or ways for Seattle?
I think it's a big one. He's a talisman for them. He went off for an HIA, but he didn't look he looked groggy, so I'm assuming he's not going to come back from my guess. But really, line out, key areas of maybe control and leadership in a tight game, those could come to fruition. So for me, that's probably the question mark. Will it affect the line out, as he is the coach who also runs that on the field as well?
Awesome, great stuff, Corbs. Thanks, Bree. You got some numbers from half one that are catching your eyes.
Yeah, well, Corbs was just talking about how possession was the main message in both sheds at halftime. Seattle, 47% possession in that first half. California, of course, with 53% possession. Territory, Seattle, 36%. Makes sense. We saw them mostly in their defensive half there. What's been standing out to me, though, are these other two stats, tackle and 22-meter efficiency, as we see a big hit from California right now, but Seattle, 85% tackle success rate. California, only 73%. That has got to improve.
Yeah, that's got to get better. Great stuff. Here comes Seattle now with speed. They're in the blue kits. California Legion in the red with the white trim, battling it out for the number 2 seed in next weekend's semifinal action in Major League Rugby. Luke Rogan's our referee. You'll hear him throughout the match. The AR's assistant referee, Shanda Asmus. Chris Asmus, and our Laws analyst here in New York with Bree and I is Lex Weiner.
And you can see the substitution there. Just Tiago Val, who has come on for Hutting, and we didn't mention it in the first half, but Cash Malawiya also came in about 35 minutes in, taking off Corbin Smith. An early tactical substitution there for California, but Malawiya's had a big impact so far.
He does. He's one of those guys. He's got the speed, obviously, which you have to have as a back in this sport. But man, has he got the power he's put together. He's tough to tackle. Here's Seattle now. Line out. Favorable part of the pitch here for the Seawolves. Rhino Herbst trying to drive it in. Corbs mentioned no hatting, so Rhino Herbst getting a run in there. McNulty at the back, the hooker breaks off, ball under his left arm. Tafate was there to make the big stick on him early on. Andre Warner, the 9, plays it from the base of that ruck. Now picked up, trying to peel off that left side was Rhino Herbst. 6 career tries, none this year for him. There's Patty Ryan, he had 2 last week, 1 tonight for the Seattle Seawolves side. 7 on the season for Ryan. Seattle knocking on the door, trying to get this ball down to the earth, and they do on cue. Rogan with the arm in the air. They put it down, and they touch down, and the Seawolves lead it 26-12.
Next thing checked off. Seattle has 4 tries. They've gotten the bonus point. You can see right there, just getting closer to taking care of business tonight. And that man, the try scorer, Mason Peterson, who has been so vital to the Seattle side all year. He's a huge defensive leader, especially in the interior. But right now on the attack, you can see him right there. Gets it off of the base of the ruck there. And you can see Rogan immediately with the hand. Here's a better, closer look. Just gets down lower, subterranean almost with that carry.
88th appearance tonight for Peterson in Major League Rugby. Alan Clark, you asked him about some of those under the radar guys the other day, and he said he's as good as any prop in this league, and showing his worth there, getting that one home for his 2nd try of the season. Kutsa, who is perfect on the night. 4 of 4 now for Davey, and it's 28-12. Seattle, as Bree said, the bonus point, so they're 2 back now. And there's a look at Big Peterson, who Scott Lawrence has put in the extended player squad for the USA Eagles.
Yeah, and he was named to the Week 10 first 15 last week as well. We talked about it last week, Ben. Especially these later stage matches, it's more opportunities for these American guys to put their hands up, make sure that they are getting Scott Lawrence's attention ahead of the summer test window.
You see Ben Sugars in the match, 16 there. He's come in at the hooker spot wearing that number 16. 4 tries on the season for him. California, though, they gave that ball, trying to keep it alive, and what a carry here from Rhino Herbst. Running like a rhino there, back into the hands of Botcher. Now a little pump fake, and now Kutsa, he pins one onto Matthews. Here they come, over halfway. Dan Creel had that head wrapped up in the first half when he tried it. Some blood coming out over his left eye. Head wrap gone. Seattle coming with pace. Something last week, remember you and I, Bree, with Corbs. He talked about first 5, last 5. They're putting on a pretty good push here so far in the opening 5.
And it all started from that interception from Foodie. Seattle's so good at reading attacks on defense. They also lead the league in interceptions there, and California knew it. And now that's how they win back the possession. Now they keep letting the minutes tick away here. See if they can come away with some more points.
Lyndon Muth. Another tough carry from the loose end prop. Now Kutza. Sky high, short kick, drifts back a little bit. Mono trying to get his hands on it.
Both ways.
Yep. Double knock.
See Meeks just begging for that, but let's take a look at where it all happened. You could see the kick had some hands on it, and Foodie was just able to get the ball bouncing off. You could see he was trying to keep it in bounds. Bertrand trying to just dot it back, but Foodie read that perfectly, and that's the transition that they created.
Yeah, people watch it from Scotland, and we got him in Toronto. Great to have Blake Williamson tweeting at us. First time watching rugby from Oklahoma. Current day Vikings on the battlefield doing work. That's exactly what it is. Great tweet, Blake. Keep them coming. Hashtag MLR 2026 from Starfire Stadium, where Seattle has won 20 of their last 23 matches.
Set. Hold your weight as well. At the same Mississippi. Hold your weight. Yep, let's go.
In the eyes of Gonzalo Bertrand, you and I know, and those that follow this league know how quickly he can change it. He can flip the switch in a hurry.
Look, momentum can swing at the drop of a hat, especially when it's a team like California. You can play like you've never played before in the first 47, but if you don't finish it out for the full 80, California can make you punish. So don't be fooled here. See how the momentum swings, but right now Seattle with the put. As Rogan blows this one up again.
Does not like what he sees there.
No, and just trying to establish more management here. See what messages he delivers.
Let's get down to Corbs. He is the scrum Yoda. Corbs.
Ben, there's been a lot of resets today. I think referee Rogan's been, very sort of generous working with the players, trying to get a contest, trying to get what he wants to see. There's been a lot of resets on the bind and lack of balance, but also some of these, when there's not a clear and obvious team that's going forward, he's going to reset it and give it another chance. Some people respect that, some people want to quicken up the game, but at least he's trying to let them have a contest and duke it out. But there, I'd much prefer that. If they're messing about, punish them and make them actually respect the behavior you want.
Great stuff, Corbs. Thank you. There's a ball from Kutzer on to Duncan Matthews. Now Warner finds Rhino Herbst. It's going to be a penalty here going against Seattle. So here comes that rapid pace that California and Bertrand want to play at. Quick restart. Here's Timpson. Timpson with a yellow in the first half. Now work to the left edge. Williams. Seven's background, but he spent 7 years playing with Utah in this league as well. Lance Williams, a very dependable and versatile guy.
Just a turnover there from the Legion, and Williams and Meeks just in disbelief there. But initially that turnover from California was forced from the tackle when the halfback from Seattle got that ball out. The ball actually was pretty high for the Seawolf receiver, which meant that his body position was up high. California was able to get in a nice, low, driving back tackle, which enabled them to steal and jackal that ball. And it was from that guy that we just saw had a look at, Thama.
Oh, yeah. So Luke Rogan gets him set here in the 50th minute.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Feed from Warner.
Line advantage.
It's available, picked up, advantage here. You heard Rogan being played. It was picked up there by Vavau, who's come in, as we told you, for Riekert Hatting. Rogan bringing this back.
Right now, Seattle getting a bit of the upper hand here at the scrum. Now can just go ahead and keep working, playing in the right parts of the field. Kutzer will look to get some more territory here before going for a line out.
Davy Kutzer, perfect on the night, 4 of 4 when it comes to kicking. On those conversions, worth 2 points. They'll spot it. Shanda Asmus there, you see here with the flag up, and that's where they'll start on the right side of the pitch if you're Seattle.
We see another substitution. The complimentary hookers, Devalt Kutzer coming in for Sean McNulty. And now Rufus McLean also coming in for JP Smith. This is his 2026 MLR debut, as well as his debut for Seattle.
Yeah, the run out. There goes Big Tonga Kofe out of the match. Muti, you see him, 17, comes in to replace him. And we saw Dewey Kutzer last week driving the bus. He took one in about 30 meters from the back there, as he's done so well in his MLR career. Also playing for his home country, Canada. Grew up in South Africa, moved to Edmonton. Well-capped Canadian international. Kutzer. Contested ball, tapped ahead, gathered in though. It's into the hands of Rousseau. Devon Rousseau puts it back at that base there. Is played out of there by Warner. Redling Highs. Kutzer. Matthews now into the hands of Creel. Kicks through. It'll be gathered and handled back here by California. Into the hands of Milne.
Let it come.
California needs a passage here to get back into this match. Down 16 here in the 53rd minute.
Let it come now. No, you've laid
Big collision there. Is taking the worst of that was Rhino Herbst for Seattle. Legion average 5 tries a match so far tonight, just 2.
We could see Seattle, the physicality that they're bringing on the defense. After multiple phases, California haven't been able to generate a break, so they go ahead and put it to the boot. In the first 20 minutes when we saw California in this match, they really were able to break down the doors, find those seams, get through and play on the front foot, which was generating that momentum and allowing their backs to play, but they have not been able to generate that so far.
There's McLean, capped with the United States and Scotland. Played with Houston as well in his time in this league here in the U.S.
Now, last year, 15 appearances in MLR 2025, scored 4 tries. Saw his first hands on the ball. He was able to recover a kick from Kutzer and win that ball back and get possession for Seattle. You have someone like him, immense depth on the bench here. But right now, California scrum. Can they retain this put?
Set.
The beautiful game. Bertranu. Now Meeks. With that speed up the right side of the pitch. Laid back, Bertranu.
No, well done.
On to Thama. To the floor he went. Back into the hands of Billy Meeks. Now Sugars. Ben Sugars.
No, feet. Off the feet.
Experience overseas. Played with Ed Timpson overseas in Australia before they both made their way to Southern California last year to join this league. Rogan the arm in the air. Call against Seattle. Here's Bertranu trying to run that fast break offense they've got. Meeks lost it, but he knocked it on.
You can see Peterson.
Yeah.
Slow to get up. And I think that California was pleading that Seattle wasn't back 10 off of that tap, but right now they're going to have to fight back again to win that ball.
Bertrand losing that argument to no avail. Here's a look back at what can and often does happen in this sport. Just rip down the strength of these men, and bodies turning in all kinds of positions they normally shouldn't at times.
Get all sorts of angles in this sport.
Yes, you do.
5, set. Okay. All right, bitch, let's go.
Patty Ryan, head on with Billy Meeks. Down to the floor goes Ryan. Warner to Kutza, Matthews outside of the edge. McLean, great feet he's got. Rufus McLean. Crunch there. You heard the call from Rogan. High tackle advantage here for Seattle, and we'll reset.
Just really tough for the Legion. They've been having some lack of luck, I would say, at the breakdown. Rogan will take a look here.
So they're going to look back at this high tackle that we heard. Lex, you want to jump in here before we get the word here from Luke Rogan?
Advantage for, so he has a clear view on what happened live. So let's take a look at the replay and see what he's got.
All right, we will watch along with you. Laws analyst Lex Weiner with us. Here's a look. What do you see here, Lex?
So it's going to be this tackle coming across
by Meeks.
Well, you have both the first contact by 16 on California. And then because of that initial contact, the body of this Seattle player goes into Billy Meeks. So I don't think he's going to be watching what the actions of Billy Meeks. It's going to be the actions most likely of 16 San Diego.
Okay. It's Ben Sugars of the Legion. So we'll listen in here until we get a word here from Luke Rogan. What do you see, Bree?
I mean, it looks like exactly how Lex drew it up, right, or explained it rather. As
he is upright.
So what the refs on the field are currently looking at and talking about are the fact that the California 16 is upright. There is head contact. I think they're talking about it's not direct head contact, but let's see what they have to say.
All right. Luke Rogan, our referee. They continue to look through it in the stadium.
Go to that close angle. Yep, that one. Play it full speed for me, please. That's pretty passive. Right, so we've got a high degree of danger. And mitigate because it's through the shoulder first before you say contact. So
Looks like the referee could make the few players with a right tackle and head contact there.
So here comes the verdict from Luke Rogan.
what are we challenging? Let's clear this up first before we go back. 50. Okay, so we're now having a look at the clean out just after that tackle.
So there's more we're looking at here, Lex. Feel free to jump in and walk us through what's going on here.
Well, it looks like the California coaching staff see something after this that is going to be more significant or severe than the initial penalty. So,
number 6 there, Redling Eyes?
Yes.
Okay. What do you see that when you saw it the first time there?
So it's all going to be about the reverse angle on if he made head contact on the California player when he's arriving into the breakdown. So from this angle, you can't tell where the contact is made, but they clearly have an angle that they think something else happened. So let's see.
This is before the high tackle. So just play it through slowly, please. Okay, slow it down for me, mate. And have you got another angle? Because there's nothing clear from this angle.
So just to remind everyone, there could be a different angle that we're waiting for, or there could be something else that they're looking at here. So
it's a good point by Lex, our laws analyst. We don't get all the looks they are. Good point by Lex.
Here's head contact. He's in a good position to make a clean out. So there is head contact. He's in a good position to make a clean out. And 6. I think he's trying to wrap there. He gets caught up, right? So here is head contact.
This head contact by number 1 on Seattle. Just a reminder, he is on a yellow card. So if the referee team believes that this is a yellow card on him, just a reminder everyone, it will be a second.
Yep.
Are we happy with the action?
That's the voice of Lex Weiner, our laws analyst.
He's trying to wrap and he gets caught up.
Long-time referee.
Correct. He tries to get on the 9 and the 9 pulls away. So I'm not seeing this as a foul play incident. I'm seeing this as a rugby accident where 6 has come up. He's in a good position to make a clean out here, and 6 has come up late, which has changed the height. Agreed? Are you seeing anything different?
When the hand gets stuck on 12.
Yeah, so there's no foul play on this one, and we'll go back for the penalty on 16. Okay, I have a decision. Following a challenge from California, it is deemed there is no foul play. They lose their challenge. It is a rugby accident. After the referee initiated a review, 16 red is upright. There is head contact. It is not a high degree of danger, and there is mitigation because most of the contact's through the shoulder. It'll be a penalty only against 16 red.
All right, Luke Rogan there.
It's
Laws
a penalty
analyst
only
Lex
against 16
Weiner.
red.
Put it in layman's terms for everybody out there.
Lots to analyze for everybody.
16 and Jason.
So first things first, he reviewed the high tackle, which was a penalty only.
Okay,
we could hear Luke explain it for everybody instead of me.
Tackle, but we need to be lower. Okay, it is a penalty only. Make sure we're lower, please. Okay.
And there is no penalty for the shoulder to the head there, David?
No. He's the number 6 has come up late. Change of direction. It's a rugby accident. That there's head contact there. Okay, so it'll be a penalty here. Good.
Calmness there from Jason Dom. All right, Lex, finish your thought, then we're going to get down to Corbs.
So he explained everything very clearly to both teams, both captains, and the reason why he didn't give a yellow card for Lindenmuth was the fact that the California 6 stood up at the last minute, therefore he would not have made head contact in that situation, so no foul play.
That's why you're paid the big bucks, Lex Ray Vision. Good stuff.
That's why Luke's paid the big bucks, not me.
Well done by all involved. Here's Seattle now, Bree Kim, up by 16 here. Already with a bonus point. They're 2 back.
Keep going back, keep going back.
Trying to get that second spot to host next Sunday night on ESPN2 here once again. Warner turns, looks on the run, Kutza, he's gonna work it way off to the edge, drops it right in for Creel, and Dan Creel, Chris Asmus is there, and the arm in the air as Rogan comes in to make it official, and the double for Dan Creel on this Sunday night.
Oh, the number 12 gets the brace.
So we just had an advantage for number 6 being offside as well.
And you can hear Luke Rogan speaking it right now.
Have a word to your boys.
Seattle didn't even need the advantage. But Seattle just knocking on the door phase after phase. And you could see the Legion defense all scrambling to get back on the other side. And Seattle made them pay for that. Take a look. They go back the other way. Kutza with a beautiful carve-out pass. I mean, that is just money. Pinpoint to Dan Creel. A few more steps. And boy, does he get in.
So here's Davey Kutzer. He has not had one of these conversions, Bree, that's been anywhere close to being an easy one. And Kutzer now, speed coming, Davey Kutzer. That one, though, will drift wide on Davey there. But what a night he's having. Seattle, Dan Creel with a pair of tries here.
It's a TV thing. It's not
His latest has made it Seattle 33, California 12.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
Great to have you with us here from Tukwila, Washington, 11 miles from downtown Seattle in the Pacific Northwest. The Seawolves having their way up 33-12. Our second hydration break has been brought to you by Recover 180, the organic sports hydration drink built for today's athlete. Another great crowd at Starfire. Corbs is down in the mayhem. Corbs, what do you got?
Well, Ben, that ref call from Rogan was a big call there, the clean-out one. To me, I think that's got to be mitigated to a yellow. I think he explained it very well, but the at-force shot to the head, head-on-head at that velocity, I think Legion were maybe a little bit unlucky there, although I do agree Rogan explained his reasoning very well. That's just my opinion. The next thing that I'm seeing is almost like a replay over and over again of what Seattle are doing in the 22. Phases look like they're going the same way, and then catching Legion short on the short side. What's interesting is that Seattle are traditionally a very same-way team, so Legion are working hard to get round to stop that momentum, and I wonder if that's part of the game plan to set some traps for next week, if Seattle will go back to what they did and almost setting up the chessboard as they're looking like it's going to be a home semi-final.
Yeah, it's leaning that way, big man. No question about it. Great stuff from Alex Corbisiero. And how about Ina Foodie? Bree Kimbot jumped out of the studio here.
Oh man, Milne was not ready for that one. Take another look at this side. Meek's just trying to communicate with him, but Foodie was ready to go. Head full of steam and eventually gets that ball out of bounds and turns it over. Clarkie's loving that from his other winger. Has said he's really matured and developed over this last year, and you're seeing a great example of it right there.
Sure have and sure are from Ina Foodie, always a threat on the offensive side, but he's made a couple of big plays on the other side. Remember that save he had, that intercept he had when they were trying to save it on the touchline over there, and then that big hit, and if my memory serves me right, I think he had another big hit earlier in the match. So here comes Seattle again, sans their captain Riekert Hatting, who had to go off at halftime. They played on without Hatting. And Alan Clark's side back in April. He tried to get it into the corner to McLean there and just off the mark. I mean, Kutz has done just about perfect in every aspect of his game. That one just a bit off, though.
I mean, he's just been orchestrating this game. But let's take a look. Playoffs as they stand. If you see this result holds, Seattle would be in second place, taking the spot over the Legion. You see Old Glory took care of business yesterday. That's as it stands. Big turnover right there.
There's Dewey Kutza near the line again. Scored last week. Looking to go back-to-back. Here's the hooker in from the reserves. Lead back for him. Hertz put it back into his hands. Down on the turf here in Seattle at Starfire. Another dive for it. No call yet. Rogan gets in there. And
time off.
Yeah,
time off.
Time off.
Time off.
So the bodies, the mass of humanity will unfurl here.
Grounding, mate. So on field no try. Have you got anything?
No decision.
I don't think we're going to see it from here. So held up.
Yeah, I don't have a view of the ball at all.
Yeah. Held up. Goal line drop out.
There's the verdict. So Seattle will get it right back, Bree, nevertheless.
No, I've seen hands underneath. Back you go.
Rogan not having any of it. Milne just getting it all the way down into the other half. Just wait for the Seattle counter.
Here comes Seattle. They are sniffing. They're smelling the blood in the water. Lost by 7 back in week 4 at UCLA. Home match for California. Ball knocked on here in California. If they're going to make something happen, they've got to start right here. Let's look back here first, though, Brady.
Yeah, well, huge response from California. I mean, you can't see where the ball is. Right there, there's a hand, a California hand underneath that ball, and that's what California had to do in that moment. Another try against them in that way, and that would have been, I think, the dagger, Ben.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. You agree with this. They get one here, they give themselves a chance. They've got to score here, right?
They have to score here.
Time's a factor.
And what's been jarring to me, they have had 22% possession in this half. They have only, territory, the stat has been 9%.
Wow.
Territory meaning how much they have been in the opposition half. 9% of this half.
Well, Seattle in control now.
Set.
Taz Smith now in as the 9 here for the Legion. Comes free and comes out. Here they come. There's Malawia. Malawia offloads into the hands of Joey Mano. Joey Mano. Get him down around the ankles. Tackle made down there by Babao. He's the player that came in to replace the captain of Seattle, Riekert Hatting. Smith works it free. California averaged 5 tries a match, just 2 here tonight. And they both come in the first half and shut out to this point in half number 2. Here's Timpson. Timpson, he's so good. Those post-contact meters you mentioned, Bree. Another big carry there from him. Here's Captain Jason Dom. Dom up there in terms of carries, came in 5th in the league into the weekend with over 90, 92 to be exact. Smith. Milne getting in there, trying to help on the push. Chan as well. Seattle trying to win that. Smith comes out of there with it. Legion. So Bertranu still on. He's working as the 10 here with Taz Smith at the 9.
Wait, no.
Smith wearing 21, playing the 9. There's Bertranu 9, playing the 10.
Yeah, we talked about this with Hoyles earlier this week. to be able to bring someone on like Taz Smith, who has been electric, and he brings that game-breaking pace in the last half of the match.
We're heading that way. I don't want to.
Yeah, Moody is slow and struggling there. Go ahead, Bree.
Yep, and was just going to say that you bring on Smith later in this game to bring that change of pace, but you still keep Bertranu on. You shift him out to the first position in that playmaker spot. I mean, that just adds another wrinkle to the attack, and we'll see some changes in the last 14 minutes here.
Here's Dan Creel, Riekert Hatting there to his left. And look at Creel again. That's what a rugby player looks like. If you're new to watching this sport, I mean, the men and women that play this sport, I have the absolute utmost courage and respect for every one of them, including the woman to my right who played in college in Virginia and coached, and of course Corbs, the British and Irish Lion, Will Hooley and Mike Petrie in our studio, and just amazing what you put your body through to play this sport. They play it for the love of the game. They're not playing it for the money in this country.
No, they're sure not, but then you never hang up your boots until really
you can't do it. Yeah.
Because of how much you love this sport.
Yep.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
The beautiful game. Taz Smith to put in. Taz Smith out with it. Outside, Bertranu. Bertranu stood up. Warner. The two men that started the match at scrum half, meeting head-to-head. Big, heavy run here, but a big tackle there from Peterson on Tafatea. Here comes California. Lance Williams puts his shoulder down. He drives Warner about 4 meters back. Another massive collision there. Peterson in there delivering the blow. The tight head prop number 3. Legion again. It's like Kenny Nasagenge in there. Dom turns, spins it on. Milne thought about it. Milne splits through. Kobe Milne. Milne looking to go to Smith, and he dropped it. He couldn't really get it. The pass was low.
Always going backwards.
Oh, what an opportunity for the Legion, Bree.
Lost forward.
Oh, so unlucky for Legion. It just goes a-banging, and what about this work from Kobe Milne, though? Just a little show and go, and then just spots that tiny little gap, knows that Smith is on his inside, but just couldn't quite get it to the fingertips. But it's there. You can feel them just trying to throw everything they can right now at Seattle. They have the wherewithal to do it, but just not in that moment.
70th minute. So Cash Malawia going with first name, not last name on the back of the kit is Braveheart, as I like to call him. Arnie Redlinghuis comes out of the match over there shaking hands with his teammates here as McNulty's come out too. Foodie's out of the match. Coming up on 10 to go, and Seattle in control, looking like they will have that second semifinal spot. Chicago runs the table this year. 10 wins, 10 matches, max points, bonus points in every match, winning by an average of nearly 21 per match, Bree Kim.
It's crazy, those numbers, but the one team that has really challenged them all season has been Old Glory DC. We come back to this match, and look, we know that these two teams will face off again next week. No matter what happens tonight, though, when you get to playoffs footy, everything changes. Doesn't matter what you did in the regular season, that all goes out the window. And it's been interesting. We asked the coaches, both sides, about their strategies heading into this week versus next. Does anything change? And for them, and I think, you know, the diplomatic answers, of course, are no, nothing changes. As that guy right there, Patty Ryan, gets a big steal. That breakdown, look at that grin. He knows that he's earned it. Oh, just fantastic work. Here we go. He's right. He's not even initially hunting for it, but just the quick response there. beat Smith for that steal. Fantastic from the number 7.
Yeah, we had a great chance to talk with Patty Ryan earlier in the week, and what a season he's having. I mean, 7 tries, their top tackler. He's among the top tacklers in the league as well, and he said the 7 stuff really helped him. Southern California, and again, he spent a little bit of time with the USA men's 7 side when he was working with, of course, the 15 side where he plays Scott Lawrence, but he said that stuff really helped him develop his offensive game.
Yeah, I mean, you don't often see at the elite level a ton of crossover between the 15s and the 7s athletes, because they are 2 completely different codes, but there's something to be said about being able to play both and gaining a deeper understanding with 7s, of course, so much more spatial awareness, so much more reading of the field and developing your IQ there. So really cool to hear Ryan credit his development of his attack to the 7's work he's done.
Yeah, I asked him, I said, what are the 2 biggest areas of improvement in your game? And you know how athletes are. You were competitive one at one time. You don't like talking about yourself. But he said, my carrying is better, my defensive work and breakdowns and rucks, and it's pretty evident. We've seen him the last 2 weeks up close, and his game is really, really up in the last couple of years. Another penalty going the way of Seattle. All Seawolves now.
Just creating havoc at the breakdowns. And that's really been the story of the second half for the Legion. They've not been able to retain the ball. They've been having trouble at the breakdowns, and that's just hurting any sense of continuity that they could string together, and they just haven't been able to do that.
7-point win for California back in April, 38-31. Seattle on top tonight, 33-12. Looks like more reserves coming in. Jason Dom still out there for the Legion, their leader, their captain. Going the distance. Once again here tonight for his side. Off the hands of Botcher, but came right down for Warner. It's been that kind of night for Seattle, getting seemingly every bounce in this match here in the second meeting of the season against the California Legion. Rhino Herbst likely going the distance. Seattle player down left side of your screen. Looks like Dorian Jones.
He's in a bad way.
Yeah, he is in a bad way. And they're going to need him.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You're fine.
Reaching for his jaw there, and
just gives him space.
Medical staff out for Seattle to check on him.
He's down. Yeah, but he can untie his shoe while we're down for a head injury, okay? Just... No, thanks, all good.
Scott Packbush and Mikkel McLaury are the trainers, the medical trainers.
Yeah, George, you want to throw that up?
Like Thama got him there with that right shoulder, Bree, right?
Yeah, it looks like just as he was coming around, we'll get another look at it here. The initial hit, and then, oof, just that shoulder right to the face.
Yeah, I've just seen it now. Just go back and play that slow, George.
What a shot there by our camera crew.
Yeah,
you get
okay.
a up close look at that.
Penalty only for me because there's a dynamic in the tackle. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Mate, hey, enough. We've just seen it. You don't have to tell me what it is. I've just seen it. So I've just had a look. It is upright.
Lex Weiner, what are you seeing here?
Okay, it is foul play. It'll be penalty only against 8. Just have a chat.
So Luke's going to explain this right now, but it looks like they're going to go penalty only against California number 8 for just head contact in the tackle, but it was mitigated because of the dynamics of the other player, so penalty only.
Okay. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the match. Seattle on their way to taking over that number 2 seed. They'll host California again next Sunday night at home. Chicago will play on Monday against, as you mentioned earlier, Old Glory. The closest anyone has come to beating them, a 1-point win for Chicago a couple weeks back. Other than that, it's been pretty much blowout city for them. And Alan Clark, you know, These coaches, you know how they are. They never sleep. They're never happy, but they'll be happy they're at home this week, right?
Yes, that'll be one of the few things he'll be publicly happy about.
No, play.
Here's Warner now. Converted try, gets Seattle to 40, and here's Jones after taking that shot right on the bottom of the jaw. Now Botcher wrapped up Timpson. Ball goes into touch. Legion will get it here.
Play the line now. Let's go. 8.
Time adjusted on our score bug there, so we're in the 74th minute now.
Let's go. Yep, time's on.
Line out coming here from California.
Yep.
Alex Lepetti in. Bertranu back to 9 here as their scrum half. Back for Milne. Milne stuck and drilled and dropped there by Lerome White.
No, play on. No, they're good. Play on.
Seattle trying to close this thing out here in the final 6.
Play on. Play stick, go back up. Play on. Yep.
Bertranu went down, restarted on his own. Smith gets in there, played it free from the base. Now Timpson offloads the ball. Nesagenge with a carry. 100 caps for Kenny last week. Welcome to the Centuron Club to him. Longtime member in this league. Hallelujah.
Play, it's back off Blue. Play on. Off you. Play on.
Bertranu to it.
Move 7.
Mason Dom dropped by 2. The double tackle from Seattle. Smith, quick ball movement to the edge now. Lance Williams. He's tracked and dropped by Devon Rousseau. Now Lepetti. Brother, a center for Chicago. An outstanding family, Lepetti family. Williams puts his shoulder into Warner, and Warner looked like he took that up in the face.
It's been no short of just a fist fight here, Ben. And we expect the exact same thing next week. And you see as the scoreline has gotten bigger, so a lot of the Seattle guys got pulled off immediately, looking out for the player health as much as you can, and Taz Smith gonna go quick.
From the Legion now, Timpson. Good offload to Smith. Meeks now gathers. Billy, offload. But he turned the ball over. Put it into the hands of Rousseau. Now Matthews, he's taken down to the floor by Meeks.
Use it!
Final 4 minutes here outside of Seattle, Starfire Stadium in Tukwila, Washington.
Now just killing the last 4 minutes here. Just good game management from Seattle, and Dahmer, who has been immense in the lineouts. You had a long conversation with him, Ben, earlier this week.
He went down after.
He's really stepped up in that aspect of his game. At least getting more reps here.
Yeah, and the first thing this one's picked up by Dewey Kutz on the bounce. That when I talked to Jason last night, I said, what's the biggest key? He said, we got to match their physicality. I don't think they did that. I'm sure he would agree tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they did for the first 15, 20 minutes or so of this match, but that's really slipped off, and Seattle, you know, you talk about the famed seawall defense, they really came out to play. And they just couldn't, California just couldn't find answers, didn't ask enough questions, but right now here, a nice little break from Lepetti.
Lepetti looking for some support. Didn't get any. He just kept it, took it down to the floor. Meeks thought about it, tries to split around.
Advantage over 9.
The defender there, that's Khaleesi Moley. Now Milne worked it back. Smith knew there was pressure coming, tried to one-touch it on, and they go backwards about 10 meters. That's Afate in there. The big man. Fleet-footed big man. Asagenge spins it back. Bertranu on the hop. Gathered in back there by Milne. There's a loose boot down. Here's Malawia. He's got that speed I mentioned. That power on cue. Runs over the Seattle defender there. Absolutely steamrolled him like a cartoon character. Here's Billy Meeks now. They're close.
Quiet, 15 away!
They are awful close here, but Seattle in there, and I think they're going to get carded.
No clear release. Cynical.
See you later.
Yep.
There he goes.
Quick restart, Malawia. You hear the body, the collisions, the breathing, the grunting, the groaning, the physicality. Ball's available, trying to pull that out of there was Herbst. Steady arms in the air, and California able to get it down here in the 79th minute.
Time's off.
And Tavai gets into the scoring
Number
act.
5. You're offside, cynical. Another one.
See another one go into the bin, but Justice Tavai
now it's on. Now
gets
it's on.
that first try for California in this half. Third try of the match for the Legion, but just out physicals that Seawolves defense.
They have a minute, mate.
Milne drills the conversion. So it's 33-19 here. So you do the math. It's got to be quick, but it's 2 converted tries right now, like really quick.
Yeah, of course, we know that they'll go back to that kickoff right after this because there is time, even if it might not be accurate on the score bug. But California saving it for the late night drama.
So Herbst and Matthews coming out of the match now here for Seattle.
That's correct.
California will get it right back here.
Because they're just going to try to bang this one deep, trap them deep in their own 22.
Taz Smith back there. They got to go a long way in a short amount of time. Less than 90 seconds to go. 33-19. 2 converted tries, the difference in the match. Milne dropped. Ball spilled down on the floor. It's knocked on. That should turn the lights out on this one as Patty Ryan and company in there to celebrate here in the final minute.
One more scrum to go, but boy, did Seattle stand up to the task. And while we're talking about some big boys who have done a heck of a job tonight, we might as well talk about our player of the match. And it's this guy. Can't see him through the flag right here, but Mason Peterson, who was playing tight head, who just had a wonderful shift tonight. Made so many tackles, 18 tackles.
The big man.
Do you think he sees it? He's on camera, not sure. But also a try to his name. Helped stabilize that Seattle scrum and that defense. We talked about what a leader he is in the midfield, especially. Good to see him get some points to his name as well. He is the deserved player of the match.
Scored the opening try in half number 2, Bray, in the 43rd minute. In his 88th appearance in Major League Rugby. His 8th career try, his 2nd of the season.
Let's go, quick reset, come on. Let's go. Yeah. Head and shoulders up. Feet up
Always love
underneath.
to see a back.
Let's go, quick reset, come on.
In the scrum, you see Nick Boyer playing flanker right now, having to fill the duties of
Let's keep it up, please.
the 2 yellow cards.
Yep. Nothing more than statistics at this point will not affect this outcome, of course, in any way, shape, or form.
Crouch.
Those 2 yellows issued by Rogan here in the final couple of minutes.
Set.
Warner to it, they get it to Kutzer, there it is, into the seats, a souvenir at Starfire Stadium, and the Seattle Seawolves outshine the California Legion. They will host the semifinal round next Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that bonus point win, brings us up next week, 1 week from tonight, at 7:30 p.m.
So these two sides congratulating one another. They'll meet again a week from tonight. As Seattle gets the home spot, they're the number 2 seed. Again, they outshine California 33-19 in this one. And here's what we're looking at next week. We'll see Seattle hosting California. That match will be Sunday, 10 Eastern time on ESPN2. And then Monday, Chicago, the top seed, will host Old Glory. For Bree, for Lex, all of our crew, so long and thanks for watching.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
Sunday Night Rugby bringing an end to the regular season, and Seattle Seawolves booked their spot as the home semi-finalists playing Legion next Sunday. A brilliant win for the men in the Pacific Northwest. Here on Sunday Night Rugby, I'm Will Hooley. I'm joined by Mike Petrie and Joey Lindstrom, but Alex Corpusiero is down at pitchside with the player of the match, Corps.
Hey guys, I'm here with the player of the match, Mason Peterson. Mason, absolute shift in the front row. Over 70 minutes out on the field, 18 tackles, a try, and a bunch of scrum penalties. You've got to be pretty happy with that as a performance.
Yeah, but all credit to the boys. You know, we had to go put a performance together tonight to get a home semifinal, and we did. So, yeah, all credit to them, and we just keep going.
Michael Scott said, though, he did a full 80 minutes, though, just so I know, so I couldn't give you too much props. But I think you're bang on the head. I think the forward pack, the display today was the bedrock that you guys built that sort of victory on.
Yeah, we've been building week on week. The backs do the fun stuff, we do the dirty work, and that's where we're built on, but we just keep on going, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I guess, you know, Starfire, the atmosphere, you've earned a home semi-final. What does that mean to you and the team?
Yeah, these fans are the best in the league, you know. They show up week in and week out. We're just we're trying to put on a show for them, and we get one more week with them. So hats off to the boys, and hopefully they come and support us next week.
And obviously you've played the Legion, you play them back here again. It's never always easy playing each other back to back. What do you make of that for next week?
Yeah, it's always hard to follow up a performance, but we just go again next week. It's knockout rugby now, and week on week we just got to keep building.
Awesome stuff, Mason. We'll go enjoy it with the boys. I look forward to hearing the song when you guys are in the changing room. Well done, mate. Back to you guys.
Great work, Corbs, and there Mason Peterson, the player of the match. What a shift by him and all those Seattle men. Mike, they're going to be back at home. Starfire, we talked about in the pre-game show, being such an advantage, and now getting that in a playoff game next week is brilliant.
Yeah, like we said, anytime you get Seattle at home in Starfire, that is tough to bet against them. They are almost relentless in their wins at home.
Joey, from you, a great performance from the Seawolves, which you mentioned earlier about how good they have been at home in the season, only losing once. You take a look at the highlights now. They started really well. They know they got the crowd behind.
They absolutely do. They're going to have it next week as well. It's going to be a repeat performance from the crowd. You mentioned some spine-crunching hits early. I think they set the tone early with California Dan Creel braced today as well. Yeah, big performance out of the attacking group.
Yeah, really strong by the South African there, getting those 2 tries. You thought for a moment, Mike, that Legion might have got back. A reminder that actually if they had got 4 tries and with a losing bonus point, losing by less than 7, they could have had a home semi-final. So at the end, it got a little bit tense.
Yeah, it did get a little bit tense, and California started to turn the Jets on a little bit, but too little, too late, unfortunately, and just Seattle too strong on the day.
Seattle too strong. There is a man who'll be very happy, and he's down there with Alex Corpusciero, head coach Alan Clark. Over to you, Corbs.
Hi, guys. I'm here with Alan Clark. Finally, he's off air. He was smiling. There he is. We got him with a smile finally. Alan, you've got to be chuffed with that and that performance there.
Yeah, really pleased for everyone associated with the club, the players, obviously, how they represent the team tonight, and for everyone who supported us when we'd lost 3 in a row, rounds 2, 3, and 4, and the way they backed us to get to this point. And all credit to the players. They always believed that we were good enough to get there, and we dug out a couple of tough wins on the roads, and yeah, we delivered well today.
And I guess if we talk about the game quickly, I think the forward pack outstanding, but also some amazing defense as well, even in a high-scoring game for yourself.
Yeah, we really showed up today without the ball. To keep California Legion to 3 tries is not an easy task. They play really good rugby, and it's going to be a wonderful semi-final here next week, and I just want our fans to come back and get in behind the team and pack this house out.
Definitely. And what do you make of playing a team back-to-back? It's sometimes a little bit interesting of a chess match. Got a few things up your sleeve for next week or what?
Look, it makes the review process and preview process a lot quicker, that's for sure. But yeah, it was a bit strange afterwards because we're all saying to each other, we'll see you next week. So yeah, we knew what was on the line for us to come and play in Seattle, and to play in front of our fans was the big prize tonight.
And lastly, the people want to know, what's your secret, mate? You seem to get younger each season. We see you out here. What's going on out there?
It's the Seattle air, isn't it? And I've got to give a huge credit to my wife, so thank you.
Awesome. He's a fine wine, mate. Enjoy the win. We'll see you next week back here. Congratulations, mate. Back to you guys.
Cheek of Corbs there, but I love it, and I know that smile of Alan Clark, a guy who is always very humble. It just shows Mike Petrie how important that win was. And he says the fans to come back. They've got that semi-final next Sunday. From your opinion as a former player, when you do play your opposition twice in the space of a week, how much do you just have to kind of wipe the slate clean, though? Or do you take it and the momentum into Sunday? For both sides I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's definitely some momentum you carry into the game. But first of all, Will, I'm just going to say, I think I'm moving to Seattle based on what Clark said. He's aging backwards. I don't know about you guys, but
New York City air doesn't do it.
Really and truly. But the New York air is not doing it for me, I guess. Yeah. But no, really, like the momentum that you have from something like that, the energy, the confidence that you build on, I mean, it's instrumental when you take it into that second game for sure.
Yeah, and actually, when you now look at these league standings, Joey, they have that second spot. Keep saying it, the home advantage. You've also talked about it, we've talked about it, but it's just the atmosphere in the group, the confidence knowing you can be in your own bed next weekend. I know that as a former player, trust me, it makes a difference. And the guys, didn't seem too many injuries, although Rickard Hatting maybe might be knocked, I don't know, the leader, but they get that number 2 slot, which is really important.
Well, 70% win rate for home playoff teams in the MLR playoffs. That is a huge deal. You talked about Starfire Stadium and the impact that has. Yeah, Rickard, if you don't have your captain, that might hurt, so we'll keep an eye on that. I think it was an HIA officially, so hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, he seems to be smiling there on the field, so hopefully not too bad. He's a very important player. There's some great veterans who have stood up, and Alan Clark said they've gone on this run. Actually, the last 6 games out of 5 wins. Yes, they had a bad loss to Chicago a few weeks ago, but they're peaking at the right time, Seattle.
And maybe third time's the charm, right? They're going to get their third shot at them this time, so no one's had a chance to beat them. But Seattle, if anyone's doing their homework going into this game, going into this playoff bracket, Seattle has definitely been looking at Chicago. DC, though, they have pushed them to the brink. Chicago, they lost by 1 point. I think this is going to be a fun playoff picture.
Let's look at the standings then. As I mentioned, how Seattle have got the 2nd seed. 2026 MLR, those are the top 4 sides. Chicago Hounds, 10 from 10, 50 points. They literally could not do any more. Joey, DC get in, snuck in today. You had that game yesterday, big win for them. It's a big ask for DC to go to the Hounds, but there's one team that's caused Chicago some problems this year. It has been Old Glory.
And they came out firing out the gates last week against Chicago. And I think that when we looked at the permutations, good British word for you there, yesterday leading into the weekend, we knew that Old Glory DC and New England both vying for that 4th position. Like you said, Old Glory gave Chicago fits. Maybe Simon Cross has something figured out as far as how they could attack that group. Remains to be seen. I guess we're going to find out next week.
Look at that. The playoff schedule is there. June 15th, that's the Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus. Chicago will host against DC. Then next Sunday, it's a repeat of the game that we've just seen. Seattle Seawolves at Starfire Stadium against California Legion on ESPN2. Follow the socials throughout the week with MLR with all the reaction. But guys, reaction for you on this. What have you made of tonight's game overall, Mike Petrie?
Exactly what I expected. Seattle showed up. They played well at home. They are really tough to beat at home. But California, I mean, in glimpses, they were just inconsistent. But in glimpses, they showed that they have that potential to be world beaters. I mean, look at the end of that first half. Yeah. That play they strung together, the kick over the top from inside their own end, right outside their goal line. That's what they're capable of.
Well, I want to get a reaction from our big man on the ground, who's looking excellent. He's done such a good job today and tonight, as always. Sunday Night Rugby reporter Alex Corpiciero is one with the fans, ladies and gentlemen. Buddy, are you humble or are you just, stargazing?
I'm just enjoying the atmosphere. Honestly, the players, family, fans come on the field. I saw it last week as well. You can just see what it means to the rugby community here, and that's probably one of the big takeaways for me is how in touch Seattle are with the rugby community. This is a fantastic crowd that came out and turned the fire on, and now you got the extra juice of the game next week in a playoff. It's really exciting to me. And then if I'm looking at the game today, I agree with Petrie. I think Legion showed at times what might be capable against this side. But I'm sure if you spoke to Steve Hoyles right now, he'd be saying the turnover rate and the discipline and a little bit of the set piece cracking really let them down. I think in that early part of the 20 minutes where they had all that possession and they were dominant, they needed to get more than one try. And then some of those long phases where they had to defend in the 22, I think that might have gassed Legion for a little bit of that middle block of the game. And those are things that they're going to have to tighten up and adjust.
Corbs, do you reckon that Legion can turn it around? It's a week. They've got to go back to California, back up to the Pacific Northwest. You mentioned about how good they are, the threats they have, the learnings that they'll have to make from this game. But could they do it? Could they beat Seattle next week?
It's absolutely possible. I think this team has the players, and I've actually had a similar scenario. 2 years ago, Legion, we came here last game of the season, got done, and then we had to go to the playoffs and play them the next week. And even though we didn't win, we pushed them to like the last seconds of the game. And what that second game gets you is Starfire is kind of its own animal. The narrower the field, the crowd, the atmosphere, the way Seattle play, the fact you get a dress rehearsal, even though it didn't go well, it gives you that time in the week to nitpick and fix the key KPIs. And if Legion can do that, they're going to be in the money here because there was so many missed opportunities that if they played a couple more phases, held onto the ball, they're probably having the home game themselves. So I think we've got to remind ourselves this will be an absolute dance next week.
Love it, Corbs. Make sure you book that flight because you'll be back there on Sunday at Starfire Stadium on the ground. Our big man giving it the big one there in Seattle. Thanks so much, buddy. We'll see you next week. Guys, hey, he says some you're nodding your head like everything he was just saying there, Mike Petrie, because as much as we've seen a convincing Seattle win today, 33-19, there's still hope for Legion, though, in the semi-final.
I come back to what Coach Chris Latham said from Chicago earlier. None of this matters.
Yeah.
It's a whole new season.
Playoff rugby.
We start over. We reset. It's playoff rugby. Anything can happen. And like Corb said, that was a dress rehearsal. So I'm excited for next weekend.
Love it. Joey, great to have you, buddy. You enjoyed it today?
Oh, great to be here alongside two legends. Me and a couple Eagles. I don't know, it doesn't always make sense, but that's all right. You got to be ready.
You've been an absolute joy. Thank you so much for watching here on Sunday Night Rugby. Seattle Seawolves get the job done. They get the bonus point win. They get the number 2 seed. That means they get the home semi-final next Sunday against the Legion. Playoff time comes next week. From myself, Will Hooley, Mike Petrie, Joey Lindstrom. Thank you from us. We'll see you next week. This broadcast was brought to you by Globant, the official digital transformation partner of Major League Rugby. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the playoffs.
Big city.
we wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.